What up, what up? This is David from the 5-6 Kings podcast. And guys, it happened. Subway rolled out the new menu, and my God, it did not disappoint. I've never tasted bread so good. I've never seen turkey so thin. They got this commercial where Steph Curry's talking about it. He can't even, in the allotted time of the commercial, he can't say everything new that they did. He's like saying all this stuff. He's like, what's the Subway logo doing? And like, it's a commercial, Steph. There's only so much time to do it. And he's like, get out of here. My only problem, Subway, is like you wheel out all these fantastic changes and all that, but you got Steph Curry. You got the pink-haired soccer player girl. You got primetime Deion Sanders. Marshawn Lynch. Oh, my God, fucking Tony Hawk. I forgot he's the fifth name I say. I say Tony Hawk fifth. You got all these people, and you're paying them, I imagine, millions of dollars. You don't get Draymond Green out of bed for nothing. You're paying these guys top dollar when you could give the 5-6 Kings $1,000 an episode. We do an episode every week. That's $52,000 a year. And people will leave this show knowing what I know to be a fact. And that's that Subway is the greatest institution that the U.S. has ever made. Nothing but fuck Ford. Fuck Chevy. Fuck all these big institutions. Oh, we're American-made, all that. Subway is American-made. Subway is America. Because they're good enough for Tony Hawk. They're good enough for you. Go try the new menu. Subway, please give us money.
This the Palm Beach County anthem. All my Palm Beach County niggas, y'all put them fucking guns in there and bust them shit. Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County. This where I'm from. Where niggas get gunned down and left slung from. Thumbs just for fucking round. This ain't a county for you bitches to come around.
What up, and welcome to another episode of the 5-6 Kings podcast. My name is David Broom. With me, as always, my good friend Braden Bullard. Braden, how are you, man?
What up? I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man.
Nice.
Doing well. A little exhausted, you know?
Yeah?
It was a tough night. Tossed and turning all night after just... Cause my adrenaline was so jacked up. When I went to lay down, I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I
you
tried.
were on a roller coaster for 2 hours straight, huh?
It was nonsense. And Joe Carnahan wouldn't have it any other way.
No, he would not.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't with us last week, if you haven't watched the movie, I highly suggest you go watch it. We watched the 2006? Yeah. 2006 nonstop action thrill ride, Smokin Aces.
Fucking phenomenal movie.
Starring Ryan Reynolds, Jeremy Piven, Ray Liotta, Ben Affleck, Alicia Keys, Chris Pine. Chris Pine, my sincerest apologies last week. I knew it was you, like the face.
Yeah.
And I even said it's the guy from Horrible Bosses 2, which is Chris Pine. But I said the name Ryan Phillippe. And Chris Pine, you're way more talented, way better looking. Ryan Phillippe's the guy from Lincoln Lawyer who sexually assaulted a girl. And then it's like Matthew McConaughey, you gotta save me, you gotta save me, and it was a whole crazy thing. Turns out like he framed an ex-client. You ever seen Lincoln Lawyer?
No,
that's adding it to the list, ladies and gentlemen. If you like Lincoln Lawyer, stick around. We'll get there.
I'm surprised that that's what you referenced Chris Pine to, and not Wonder Woman 3.
Ryan Phillippe to Lincoln Lawyer. That's what Ryan Phillippe did.
But still in the beginning with Chris Pine, I'm
Horrible Bosses.
Why not Wonder Woman 3?
It was
phenomenal film.
A garbage movie.
What?
I don't know why Braden's acting like he really liked it, people. I watched it with him, and he was like, this kind of sucks, huh?
No. It was one of the worst films I've ever seen, honestly. And we will not be doing a review on that movie. Well, unless you want to hear us just completely shit on a movie for an hour and a half. But, fuck that movie. So, we're back to Smokin Aces. This was a wild fucking film, but for some reason, it didn't get really that good of reviews.
Let's hear them.
Yeah, so Rotten Tomatoes, go fuck yourself with that 31%.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah. Metacritic, 45%.
Fuck yourself.
IMDb, 6.7 out of 10. That's not bad, but definitely...
That's a 67%. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, boost those numbers up.
That's a D+.
But once again, Google users almost get it right with an 81%. Yep. You know Google. That's where the real users are. That's where the real reviews come in.
That's what it's all about,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah. But the budget was $17 million, and in the box office they pulled in 57. So good for them.
Woo.
I mean, I know they're probably still making money.
Do you think that's not enough? Because last week you were like, I mean, the budget was $14 million and they made $30 million. They're probably not happy with that. I was like, what are you talking about?
No, yeah.
Double their investment.
I mean, dude, I don't know how they didn't get even more. I'm sure they probably.
I don't know how
more.
the budget was only $17 million.
No, yeah, right.
They were just blowing shit up left and right.
Oh, and
Cars getting smashed up. Like, it was.
Dude, the costumes and makeup were all on point. Everything was very well done. I felt like the cinematography, the lighting, everything was so artistic, and they added so much to like the suspense and the feel of the whole film. I mean, I don't know, it really draws you in and keeps you connected the whole time.
When there's no way Alicia Keys came cheap.
Oh, you kidding me, bro? With this entire cast, bro,
I'm only
Ben
talking about.
Affleck.
I'm only talking about Alicia Keys.
Okay. Come on, future Batman Ben Affleck. You don't think he was worth a pretty penny, even though he was only in for a quarter of the film?
Probably about a quarter. All right,
Yeah.
that works.
No, yeah, but stacked crew cast. Definitely go check out the film if you haven't already. And yeah, let's dive in.
You gonna start?
Yeah, let's
All right.
dive in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we open how every single movie should open. We're just getting dialogue between Ray Liotta and Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Something I didn't know I needed in my life until this movie came around. They're two
God
FBI
damn, it's
agents. What's that?
I said, God damn, it's good.
God damn, it was good.
Yeah.
Two FBI agents, they're partners. They're in this van outside a very nice house. Ray Liotta's like, he has a bottle full of piss. Like, you don't see him piss in the bottle. You just hear Ryan Reynolds talking about how gross he is. And then Ray Liotta's like, come on. You might have been saying take a sip. Or smell it. Or something. Like, he's doing something gross and, like, stinking it in Ryan Reynolds' face. And he's like, get this fuck out of my face. And they look in the house, and it's this old man in the bed that they're watching. And they have people all over the property.
It's a fucking huge house.
Yeah, it's like a compound
Yeah.
type thing, which is a mansion in the middle
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Name of the guy in the house is Primo Sparazza. He is a thing comes on like writing at the beginning of the movie, and it explains Primo Sparazza is like the last mob boss around, and the FBI's zeroing in on him, trying to just shut down organized crime in America altogether.
Yeah, he's like the last stand for mob.
Yeah, so
crime.
they're watching him, and they're talking, and a guy in the house makes a call. And what I loved about this is Ray Liotta like says something to walk. He's like, "Oh, we got a guy making a call. Everyone be quiet." And right after he says it, like he just did a check-in. There's like 6 teams around the property because it's so fucking huge. Right after he's like, "Hey, we got a call. Everyone be quiet." Everyone like checks in. They're like, "Hey, guys, making a call in the house. You guys getting this audio?"
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's like, "Guys, shut the fuck up. I have the audio. Everyone get off the walkie-talkies." It was a great little spot of like, I'd like to think that our FBI is that disorganized.
Yeah.
That like they have all these wiretaps in the guy's house, and when the call's coming in, everyone's just talking over the call.
Like everyone hasn't been trained yet. Like everyone needs to add in their 2 little cents or something.
Also,
about
like nobody heard Ray Liotta the first time when he's like, "Hey, he's making a call in there. Everyone be quiet." Like everyone just like, "Oh, what? What'd you say?"
Oh no,
I wasn't listening. So, guy on the call, it's one mobster dude talking to another mob. They have names. It's not important what their names are.
Yeah.
And they're talking to each other, and he's like, Sparazza's, he's got the Swede coming in, and he's trying to, he has a hitman that he's hiring to kill Buddy Israel for $1 million. But here's the thing. You and I go get a hitman, and we'll get it done ourselves, and we'll collect the $1 million. Like, kind of just doing a workaround on Sparazza, really. And honestly, like, I didn't see too much how this was cutting Sparazza out.
Yeah.
But that was the big deal that Ray Liotta's made. Like, these guys got fucking balls, man. Like, they're doing a workaround. Like, what? The end result would be the same. He's like, he wanted Buddy Israel dead, and he wanted Israel's heart.
Yeah.
And that is something that everyone was told. But they keep mentioning the Swede. And Ray Liotta and Ryan Reynolds are like, who the fuck? There's no Swedish hitman. Who's the Swede? Who's the Swede? They're looking through that. big confusion there. They don't know who the Swede is, but they find out these guys are like, let's just tell all the hitmen that we know. Apparently, it's like 20 people. Like, tell them
a shit ton of people.
Tell them all, hey, if you kill Buddy Aces Israel, which is played by Jeremy Piven, you kill Buddy Israel and get us his heart, you'll get the $1 million.
So now they're freaking out like $1 million is going to call in every hitman, every big hitman, almost globally to come get this,
Yeah, $1 million hit on Buddy Aces Israel. So now we get to Ben Affleck, and he's got 2 dudes with him. And they're shooting pool in a pool hall. There's no rhyme or reason to them shooting pool either.
Well, actually,
this is like to
Vegas
like
and shows.
So don't fucking cut me off, man.
My bad.
Shows Buddy Israel. Ben Affleck's explaining this.
Oh yeah,
and it's showing him.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about how there's no rhyme or reason to how they're playing pool, because like they break. The guy takes a shot. Ben Affleck goes, nice shot. And then he goes in and shoots, which whenever I've played pool, if you make a shot, you go until you're missing. And then the guy shoots. But Ben Affleck then takes a shot right after the guy makes it. It's a full table of balls. And he shoots the 8-ball in. Full table of balls, not where you would be shooting the 8-ball in, but makes it, and then they're racking again. Like, this is a 2-minute conversation. They play probably 6 games of pool.
Is it because they're playing I haven't played it in a long time, so I wouldn't know, but it's the 3-person way? Where you get like...
I don't see the one dude ever shoot.
I don't see him either shoot.
That's the problem with that.
But that's the only thing that would maybe think, and I don't even know if that's the rules still. I think it is.
I don't know the rules.
Yeah, there's a 3-person game of pool, and I think you just go by the certain number set, and you try to get like your number set in that might involve the 8-ball, but I could be wrong.
Do you skip if someone makes a shot?
No,
that was my biggest gripe with this.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Ben Affleck's like, I'm the boss. I shoot when I want to shoot, and if I make the 8-ball at any point, I win.
Yeah, because that's like Ben Affleck's nature. He's got to win.
Dude, anyone who knows Ben Affleck knows that he cheats in pool, but he's got the biggest sack in the room, so he gets away with it.
Yeah,
and I'm sick of it, quite frankly.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sick of it. Makes me sick. So
he's big butt chin and this cool mustache. I'm sick of it.
He does. He looks so. It's him and 2 ex-cops. They're all ex-cops.
Yeah.
And he's a bounty hunter now, or not bounty hunter. He's a bail bondsman.
Oh yeah.
And he's getting contracted to go bring Buddy Israel in, who's Jeremy Piven. The FBI is getting him to inform, and they're kind of like, Israel's holed up in a penthouse somewhere. We can't find him. We got his lawyer here. His lawyer doesn't really know where he is either. Well, he's not telling us.
Yeah.
We need to get Israel off the fucking streets so these hitmen don't.
Yeah, and he's explaining this to his, his 2 other partners, these 2 other ex-cops, and he's also explaining the relationship, I think, between Buddy Israel and Sparaza.
So he's explaining why Israel is informing on the FBI. And it's basically Buddy was in Vegas. He was like a big magician guy. He would sell out
basically like the biggest magician
casinos every night.
Vegas.
Like, I wanted to name like a famous magician, but like I don't think David Blaine does like Vegas residencies.
Yeah,
I don't know any magicians like that.
Yeah.
David Copperfield, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's David Copperfield. That's from the rest of the movie. He's David Copperfield.
So they make it seem like he really wants to start becoming like a mobster. And I guess like one of the first things he does is gets people to rob a bank.
Yeah, so Sparaza helped Israel get into get into casinos and stuff. He helped him. He was money behind it. And Israel was like, well, I can fucking like start doing illegal shit and start making money.
Yeah.
And there's only one person that you add to your crew if you want to do that. Who's going to be your lieutenant?
Who's going to be my lieutenant?
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
No, what the fuck you talking? Common.
Oh, my bad.
If you're starting organized crime, you say, who's my first lieutenant going to be? Bitch, it's Common.
No, yeah, you're right.
And for those of you long-term listeners of the 5-6 Kings.
I was mesmerized by the butt chin, and then just like Ben Affleck couldn't get on my head, so my bad, Common.
For those of you long-term listeners of 5-6 Kings, this is the second Common appearance.
Yep.
5-6 Kings. He was an American Gangster. Him and Ted Levine.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do? No, we did Independence Day a couple of weeks ago. Ted Levine was Joyride.
Yeah.
He was Joyride.
2 people.
Independence Day.
2 movies, yeah.
Look at that. Like, who'd have thunk that Common and Ted Levine would be the first repeat people?
Yeah. And goddamn, man, Common, sucks you right in too. You know, he's always on the mark. He's always gold, bro. He's so cool.
So, and it kind of fucking jumps around a lot here. So
so it's really hard to kind of.
It's him explaining who Israel is, and then I believe it's this older black woman, a younger black woman.
Yep.
And Alicia Keys, who's also a younger black woman. Alicia Keys and the other younger black woman are...
Well, actually, right before this, I think as Ben Affleck's still talking, they're showing people from the FBI going over, I think, Speranza.
Does it go? Okay.
Yeah.
So it goes, Andy Garcia is the deputy chief of the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Liotta and Ryan Reynolds are agents.
And they're talking about right now how they're figuring out that Buddy Israel is splitting the mob family, right? And then it's kind of like putting Speranza and who else on two sides. It was splitting up the mob.
Speranza and Israel. So Israel was kind of Speranza's guy. He was a famous magician who had ties to organized crime and would help Speranza out. Now Israel's like, I want to run my own crew. I want to be the head boss of my family, and that's kind of fucking up the mob because, you know, Speranza's not the top boss anymore. Now it's two families, and are they going to go to war with each other? Are they at odds?
And then you have what's his name? Fuller. So he's going over.
Fuller, is this Ryan Reynolds?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Heller.
Yeah, Heller.
Fuller is Steve Zahn's character's name in Joyride.
You know, it's so easy to get them mixed up. So I think they're starting to explain how Heller was getting also.
So Heller this was in like the 1950s. He was an FBI agent who they're saying he was getting cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
He wanted to infiltrate the mob, and he was getting cosmetic surgeries. And then it's showing that Primo Speranza found out who Heller was and killed him in a back alley.
Got him killed, yeah.
And you'll see this scene
multiple times.
Handful of times throughout the movie. It's like a back alley. It's raining. Heller's on the ground, and there's a shadowy figure that they're saying is Primo Speranza, and he shoots him in the head. You'll see that a few times, and that's kind of Andy Garcia's explaining, like, here's why Heller's such a great get. Or here's why Speranza's such a great get. It's because he fucking killed an FBI agent. There's no murder. There's nothing that Speranza has ever done he's left a trace for, including Heller's death.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, if we can get Israel to inform on him and we can get Speranza in, that would be huge.
Yeah, so it's Ray Liotta, Ryan Reynolds, and him. They were all talking about that. And then it cuts back to Buddy Israel with Common, and they're in Vegas. And so it's kind of like cutting back and forth between these two scenes. And I think they're just setting up how the FBI is like onto them as to Israel's relationship with Common and what he's doing in Vegas. And then it goes to Israel.
No, hold on. We back Alicia Keys and
okay,
her lesbian friend, the diner.
Yes.
They're no, okay. So the pussy is later in the movie, where she keeps saying pussy to the old Italian guy, and he's uncomfortable. He's like, please stop saying that. They're just talking to it's this older woman who gets them the jobs, and she's like, yo, girls, you want to go kill Buddy Israel? It's $1 million. You'll each keep 45%. I'll get my 10% finder's fee. And they're talking about who they're going to be going against. And this lady knows. So she says Pasquale is one of the guys, and she's talking about how they're showing him torture the fuck out of people. He's got like people naked upside down, and he's hooking up car batteries to their junk.
Yeah, they're kind of starting to explain
like this guy's
some of
fucking nuts. And then it shows Andy Garcia, and he's also talking about Pasquale. And he's like, when he was in a Venezuelan prison, he chewed his fingertips off to the bone. That's how he says it. He goes, to the bone.
Yeah.
So they couldn't identify him, which is bananas. He shoot his fingers off. He's like welding people together. It's this
He's
guy.
like
you
known
guys
for
got
like
I
the
can't,
most torture techniques in like
and that's
recent history.
I can't describe what I watched in this movie. I just need you guys to go at least find this scene.
They do such a good job.
Because this guy's out of his mind.
Yeah.
They then talk about the Tremor brothers, who I'm going to read through. I did not know that it was all this. Is where Chris Pine comes into play. It's him.
Yep.
He's like the brains behind it. Then he's got a big guy who is Kevin Durand is the actor's name.
Mm-hmm.
You might know him from the movie Walking Tall with The Rock and Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
He worked for the bad guy in that movie.
Yeah,
Worked
he's in
for
a lot of movies.
And he's
yeah.
who, but mostly Walking Tall.
No,
with
yeah,
The Rock and Johnny
no,
Knoxville.
Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
They arrest him and they find drugs on him and they tear through his truck and make him watch it. He's great.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
And then they have there's a third brother who's a tiny little guy who I did not know until right before we started recording. The actor's name is Maury Sterling. For those of you fans of the hit CIA drama Homeland on Showtime, this is Max. Max, the IT guy in Showtime or in Homeland, who's just fucking knocks it out of the park in Homeland. Knocks it out of the park in this. He looks like a little Japanese man. And he's just crazy, like he's. We'll get into all the crazy
They're like
stuff.
white
he does,
supremacists or something like that, or Nazi.
I don't even know if they are.
I think they said they've definitely referenced something about Nazi something.
So they're playing like death metal and driving. So the scene they show of the Tremor brothers is them. They had to kill one specific guy, and this guy was at a restaurant, like a nice restaurant. So they just crashed their car through and used flamethrowers to just burn people alive, and machine guns and chainsaws.
Yeah.
It's just loud. It's crazy. It's bloody. I'd like to think, Mike and B, there's three of us. I'd like if we need to start being hitmen and be the Tremor brothers. Because if I want to be a hitman, like I don't want to be like a cool, calculated, like getting shit done. I just want to be that.
Yeah.
Dress in outlandish gear and burn people.
Yeah. Once again, great job to the costume and makeup department. Fucking killing it.
They're great.
Yeah, they're throughout the whole film. It really draws you in. How much character all these people have. All these sometimes some of the actors are almost barely recognizable, which is like
Max. I had no idea that was Max.
Chris Pine. I mean, he looks completely different.
I thought it was Ryan Phillippe. The next guy they introduce is Lazo Soot, and they show him. He is riding on there's this guy walking. This guy has bodyguards in front of him and behind him. They're walking through the street. They're always showing a kill for the people when they explain like how badass they are. And they're walking down the street. Looks like in New York. And guy walking by reaches in his jacket, and his guards like reach. They grab their phone.
Yeah, they're all like
grab their
6'7".
guns. Yeah, they're huge guys.
Huge.
Grab their guns, and they realize, oh, that guy's just grabbing his phone. They put it away. To the right, there's a homeless African-American gentleman with dreadlocks who is in a wheelchair.
Like he's paralyzed. He's paralyzed.
Oh, he's quadriplegic. I think he's using his mouth to operate the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Not a threat. And all of a sudden, he just hops up. He has two of those, I forget what they're called, like handheld machine guns, and just mows down all five of the dudes. And then jogs over, hops on the back of a truck, and then takes a mask off, and he's a bald, like...
Yeah, they're like mini AKs.
Yeah, and he's a bald, like, Eastern European-looking guy. Nothing like the man who jumped out of the wheelchair and shot those guys.
Yeah, which is wild how well the mask worked. Because, like, even watching him...
It's a great mask. Well, it's I don't think it's a mask. I think it's an actual...
No, that's what he does.
Yeah.
He like takes moldings of like people's actual faces.
No, but so I think like even the costume, like I think that's an actual African American gentleman who got up and shot. I don't think that was that actor.
Oh no,
mask.
no, for sure,
okay.
sure. Yeah,
all right, I got excited thinking you thought that the masks were
no,
really
but
that
I'm saying
good, and it was
they
that
show
actor.
him, like, take off a mask, and it seems like it works pretty well.
Yeah.
So then they're back with Ben Affleck still describing it.
Back at the pool hall, he's saying, like, I know where... So, the one guy in the group is fucking super against doing any of this. He's like, dude, like, come on, this is a fucking crazy mission. We're going to have to go... We got all these hitmen coming. We got to go try to get Buddy Israel. This is bullshit.
Seems so depressed.
He's
like, the
so
whole time.
against it. Yeah, and Ben Affleck's just, like, annoyed with it. And he's like...
The other dudes call him a pussy, and
Yeah, so it's Ben Affleck's the boss, and then these two guys are like bickering the whole time. Ben Affleck's just like in between the two, and he
thinks he knows.
So he knows where he is.
Yeah. And he thinks he's the only one that knows. So he's like, we have maybe a day to get to Buddy Israel and get him out of there before the whole world starts going to that place.
Yeah. But as he's saying that, the black lady in the diner is telling Alicia Keys, she's like, hey, he's up in the suite, and Andy Garcia knows, and he's like, we got his lawyer, we know where he is now. So everyone fucking knows where he is now. So it's not unique that.
Yeah, and they're doing a cool job from jumping from one group to the next, kind of describing the other groups, which is cool.
Yeah.
They're like all hyping each other up in a way.
It's cool. It is hard as fuck to keep up with, though.
No, yeah, especially to almost describe.
I've seen this movie 10 times, and I feel like this is the least effective I've been at describing a movie. I'm okay with that, but like this is rough.
No, this is a legit roller coaster of a movie. Like when we say that, it moves so fast, even when the movie's slow. Like right now, the movie's at its slowest.
There's no like crazy action.
Yeah, it's at its slowest.
I guess there is crazy action. It's just like remembering in the past, it's still crazy though.
Yeah. But just to think that at this moment the movie's so slow and they're moving so fast. Like this movie is definitely a roller coaster. So at this point now,
the Swede has arrived.
Yeah,
we just get word that the Swede has arrived. We don't really know who the Swede is yet. We know he arrived.
And then it's back at the FBI, and then the main FBI agent, or what is he? The Andy Garcia's character. What is
Andy Garcia?
No, but for the FBI,
he's their boss. I don't know, deputy chief, I think.
Yeah, he's in a really cool accent. He's like, "They must not succeed." And then it cuts over to Buddy Israel at his penthouse, and this is kind of when the movie. So
the Swede arrives in between that line, and I jumped the gun saying the Swede arrives.
Yeah, and then this, yeah.
So then the Swede arrives. Then we're at Jeremy Piven's hotel.
It's almost like this is like Act 2. It's almost like the movie takes a beat change, and then so now we're with Jeremy Piven. Fucking phenomenal job throughout this movie, and we wake up in his penthouse with him waking up with all these prostitutes or just women from.
They're prostitutes,
okay,
or well, sex workers. It's 2021.
Yeah, respect for sure.
Sex workers.
Yeah, and one of the bodyguards is passed out too, and he wakes up and he's fucking flipping cards on him, like, all right, you gotta go.
He's walking by. He's a card magician, so he's going over. He's throwing cards, and he's like, "Thanks for coming.
Goodbye."
Yep. Goodbye. And then Hugo comes in.
Yeah,
he's an Eastern European, like henchman for Jeremy Piven in this movie, and he's like, "Hugo, I need you to," or he's like, "Did you get Vitoli? I need you to get Vitoli. You guys need to come up here and clean this place up." And he's like, but first, I want you to look at this. He's like, what is that stain? And there's a stain on the jacket. And Hugo goes, oh, I don't know. Were you really about to cut me off and take the best line in the movie?
My bad.
I'm in the middle of explaining this, and you're trying to jump in and just take the line? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
It's such a good line. I'm sorry.
He goes, oh, I don't know. Cinnamon roll? And Jeremy Piven goes, oh, yeah, cinnamon roll is the roll with cinnamon. Because to me, it looks like jizz. Eastern European jizz on a $12,000 calfskin jacket. And he's like, I'm sorry, I will get a cleaner. He goes, get a cleaner? I would rather you incinerate it because some shit just don't wash out. And then he's like, oh, I need you to go get Vitoli. But most importantly, can you do me a favor? And he goes, yeah, yes, boss, yes. He goes, get out of my fucking sight.
And then, what, kind of like throws a card at him or something?
Oh, he puts a Joker card on his forehead.
Yeah, that's right.
And says, get out of my fucking sight. So he leaves. He goes to get Vitoli. Next, Alicia Keys is at the diner.
I just feel bad for Hugo.
Hugo shouldn't. First of all, and the one guy brings it up later. The guy, we'll introduce him in a minute, but is he having unprotected sex with prostitutes?
I don't know.
Yeah, like what's that all about? You gotta wear a condom.
Yeah.
This is just a big group of girls that agreed to go have sex with a magician and his friends in a hotel room for money. You gotta wear a condom when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they jizzed on a $12,000 jacket. I don't feel bad for Hugo at all.
You know, was it Hugo?
He owned up to it.
Do you believe it was Hugo?
He owned up to it, and everybody else in the organization thought it was him, too. I tend to think, yeah, it probably was him. And he immediately was like, oh, cinnamon roll? Like, he immediately was like, it's not jizz. For sure not jizz. So Alicia Keys is at diner with Sprazza's guy who was on the phone earlier.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you plan on getting close to Israel? And she goes, pussy. And he goes, huh? And she goes, pussy. And then her friend comes in and goes, we know that Israel likes pussy. And we like that he likes. And then they like nudge towards the guy and he goes, pussy.
Yeah.
It's a great scene.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's a great scene, but it's not nearly as good as the next scene. Next scene, guys, Jason Bateman's in this movie. And Jason Bateman does not disappoint even a little bit.
Bro, it's so well played. It's like he's he just probably had like an all-night binger doing crazy sex shit. There's shit all. You walk into this room and you're like, okay.
First of all, he opens the door. He's not wearing pants.
Yeah,
he's wearing a button-down shirt
that's like fucking button wrong, happily buttoned.
His face. So at first I thought like, oh, he got in a fight. He has like these sores on his mouth, and then he's like, never been punched in the face. Can you believe it? So it might be herpes.
No, it's for sure
herpes.
Yeah, it's for sure. He's got like multiple outbreaks of herpes.
Yeah, he's
like,
inflamed.
Yeah. Like you could tell, like God, once again, the costume, makeup, and set design is on point. He's like pale, sweaty, hair all messed up. And he's like talking nonstop, so it's like he's all tweaked out still. And the room is set up with fucking like weird shit everywhere, sex shit everywhere. There's a fucking bunny costume hat.
So we're gonna get there, dude. We're gonna get there. Just throwing shit out.
But this is
we don't even know who they are that are walking in. That's what I'm just realizing.
No, it's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I got too excited jumping into Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
I didn't say who was meeting him.
That's what I'm saying.
So people think that we're just looking at him in his room, and he has nothing to do with the story. He's just there being weird. They're just like, yeah, this is part of it. This so this is the guy who got the deal for Ben Affleck and those two guys, and
they're showing up to get the details.
Yeah, and he pays them $50,000 up front. I imagine there's an amount they get after.
Yep.
But Jason Bateman's being weird. He's being real self-deprecating. He's like, "Man, you're real, man. I'm not even half a man." Like just shitting on himself, being all sad. And he's like, "All right, you guys good? You guys good?" And the one guy in Ben Affleck's crew who like isn't about it, just kind of sitting there being weird. He's like, "This guy knows what I'm talking about, huh?" And he high fives him, and he goes, "Yeah," and then bones it. And they pound it,
then lock
and then
it.
he goes, "Then you padlock it," and like he puts his hand from. I don't even know how to describe like horizontal fist to vertical fist. Yeah. He goes, and then you put the chain on it, and he rubs forearms with him. It's so weird. He's so awkward, and the guy's just staring at him. Right after he does that with him, Bateman looks at Ben Affleck and goes, "Am I gonna have to be fucking worried about this guy?"
It's like, no, he's cool. We're cool.
So, Bunnyhead that Brady brought up earlier.
It's on the table.
It's sitting on a table. And that guy, the actor's name is, I don't fucking know what else he's been in. Maybe nothing. It's Martin Henderson.
Yeah, Martin Henderson.
The actor's name.
He's been in a couple of things. I think more TV shows.
Yeah, fuck him. You know what? You're not good enough. He's not good enough for Tony Hawk. That's for damn sure. And he's not even good enough for Jason Bateman because he picks up the bunny head there and he's like looking at it. He's like, what the fuck is this? And Bateman sees it. He goes, hey, excuse me, that's not yours. Put it down, please.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck goes, put the fucking rabbit head down. So he puts it down, and I hope they left after that point. I think that's it.
Those scenes must be so fun, especially for the actors to think like, oh man, how good they all are, and like to be doing those type of scenes. It must be just fucking
dude. And the fact that like Jason Bateman, like,
he owned up to it.
He's a big name, and he's like, yeah, no, I'll just do this one really weird. Jason Bateman. There's one more scene he's in the movie, and it's very quick, like,
and it's even more ridiculous.
It's weirder. He's not in this movie a lot, but when he is, it's
like
just like, what the fuck is Jason Bateman's
It's
deal?
a cumulative like 7-8 minutes that he's in this film. But yeah, every minute of it, gold.
So next we cut to Buddy Israel's suite, and he yells, "It's cool."
Well, hold on. Yeah.
Because Jason Bateman says $50,000 for services rendered and hands Ben Affleck the thing. And then it immediately cuts to Jeremy Piven going, 50 fucking grand for this suite? And Common's like, calm down, man. He's like, with all the attention we're getting. And he goes, no, this is a shithole. And we got to pay 50 grand. And then Common says, man, you campaigning like N-words ain't hot. N-word, we hot. Which is the coolest thing. Like, Common is so fucking cool every time he's on the screen. And just in general, he's a cool, like, you see Common on anything, you're like, that's a cool motherfucker right there.
Well, so is Alicia Keys. And then they're like, it's like this. I like it because it's like they're both dope.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they got two cool artists, and they're like, let's get them in this movie and have them be the coolest motherfuckers here. So he's just being cool. He's talking about, man, like, they're losing a whole floor of business. We got all these hookers up here. Like, yeah, it's going to cost 50 grand. It's crazy for you to think it's going to cost anything less.
And then right after this, what's funny is none of the prostitutes got up when Jeremy Piven told them to.
No. You wait until you're a sex worker. You're in the penthouse of a nice hotel. You wait until you're forced out.
Yeah. From
Common, where... I don't know any of these young women personally, but I can't imagine they're going home to a penthouse. Nah. I imagine this is nicer than wherever they're heading to. So like, whatever, this is cool. I'll chill here until someone makes me leave.
So now Common's doing that.
So Hugo walks up first. He goes, Vitoli, no answer. And Jeremy Piven goes, well, go fucking get him. So Vitoli is he's the executive butler.
Yeah.
For the hotel, we find out. And he's exclusive to that floor.
Yeah, so he's at a different part of the hotel that...
It's the top floor. He's like their exclusive, like, he's your butler. Anything you need, you got Vitoli.
Yeah.
Sounds like Vitoli's the man.
And then as the bitches are waking up...
Don't call them bitches. What the fuck? So Kate Beckinsale rapes Matthew McConaughey. Black people can't swim. These young sex-working women just trying to make a living. Maybe trying to go to school. They're bitches. Like, I grew up with you, and I don't fucking know the person I'm looking at right now, dude. The young women start waking up.
Yeah. The respectable women start waking up. But so does Beanie. Beanie's the fucking...
I forgot his name.
Beanie's the fucking man. This dude's like 6'7", huge, nether bodyguards, kind of like Common's right-hand man, and he's just...
Beanie's not that tall.
You
know how fucking tall 6'7" is? That's a big dude.
Maybe
Rob
6'5".
Gronkowski's like 6'5".
All right. I don't know. This dude looks big, right? So you guys...
Beanie's like 6 feet tall.
Well, let's get it from the viewers. You guys go watch...
What was Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre is 6'1", 225 of pure chocolate. I think Beanie is something similar to that.
All right, I'm saying at least 6'4", 6'5". I want y'all, anyone listening, go watch Smokin Aces and tell me what you think of Beanie. Tell me how tall you think he is. Go comment underneath, and we'll see, who's right or who's wrong. But yeah, so Beanie wakes up. He's saying some cool, slick shit, and they're kind of like kicking the nice, respectable women out.
So Beanie, he's not saying some cool, slick shit. He's being very mean.
He's always saying some
this
cool
girl
shit.
And Beanie's not a good looking dude. And this girl wakes up and he looks at her and goes, "Man, I must have been fucked up last night because I never would have fucked you." He's just a piece of shit. Like, these girls are waking up on the floor in a penthouse,
and then
he's just talking shit to them. And this poor girl, she can't catch a break because right after he says it, like, she's trying to get dressed, she falls back and goes through a glass coffee table. And like one of the other sex workers, she starts making fun of this young woman, and the young woman chases her out and tries fighting her. Like, it's just...
And now there's like 5 girls fighting, and all the security guards, So there's
security came
in.
in.
So there's a bunch of security guards who are on the floor right outside the penthouse who, are specifically for them. And there's like 7 of them, I believe. And they come in and They kind of escort all the girls out. And then it cuts to Ryan Reynolds and Ray at some type of coffee shop. I think
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta. Got to give the full name.
Well, I mean, if you Ray Liotta, like, you got a badass name like that, you're giving the full name.
And I think Ray gives Ryan.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I guess
we should have a conversation about doing the full name.
So Ray Liotta, I'm pretty sure gives Ryan Reynolds like a packet of pictures and files that goes over.
It's what, like, shit on the case that they're working
Yeah.
on. It's just like, hey, here's like he's queuing him in on some shit Ryan Reynolds might not know about it. They're partners, so they're just going over shit, making sure they're prepared.
Yeah, and then it goes back to the hotel.
So real quick, one thing we find out is that Primo Speranza has had 15 plastic surgeries in his lifetime. Ryan Reynolds is reading that. He's like, this is fucking nuts. He's like, he's had 15 plastic surgeries? He's like, yeah, he's had his ears pinned back and a piece of his jaw removed and saying all this shit.
And then we end up back at the hotel where the dude who bites his fingers off shows up and is talking to like one of the hotel employees, saying he's an agent from down south or something like that.
Says he's an FBI agent, but the hotel employee is I don't know the actor's name. Don't look up the actor's name, Braden.
You sure?
It's the kid. He's one of in Drake and Josh. There are these two nerdy kids who are best friends. He's the more nerdy of the two nerdy kids in Drake and Josh.
Yeah, you guys know who we're talking about.
So any fans of Drake and Josh. But you know what? I guarantee you someone is listening to this and they're saying the character in Drake and Josh's name right now.
Yep.
Like, for sure they know it. They probably don't know the actor's name, but for sure someone is listening. They're like, that's fucking Kevin. Whatever his name is.
Oh,
like,
shit. Yeah, so fucking Kevin's... He goes to...
He's nervous and shit.
Yeah, he's nervous. But then they cut really quick. So this movie cuts very fast.
So Pasquale asks, he's like, I'd like to see your head of security.
Yeah.
That's who he asks for.
Yeah. And then we cut to Ben Affleck and his crew, and they're by the water with their car, and they're getting ready. They're about to put their security uniforms on, kind of like going over the plan really quick. And fucking bad timing, the Tremors show up. The Tremors drive by.
The Tremors, that's Chris Pine, that's the guy from Walking Tall, and it's Max from Homeland.
Yep.
Those are the Tremors.
Those are the Tremors. And they show up, and they kind of interrupt the plan because their music is so loud, and Ben Affleck's like, what the fuck is that? Then they reverse it, come back into the frame. They drive by.
They drive past them.
They drive by, and then they
So
reverse.
you watching the movie knowing who's in that car, because it's the same car we saw earlier, it's the same music we heard earlier. You see him drive past, you're like, oh shit, that's bad news.
And I guess the Tremors are smarter than we think, because when they drive by, they must have saw the security uniforms that were on the car, and then from them going over the plan, and must have pieced together really quick. Hey, we got to kill those dudes, take those security uniforms, and go to the hotel. And that's exactly what they did. So they reversed it, and they fucking did a little drive-by. It wasn't even a drive-by. It was like a reverse by.
Yeah, no, they weren't moving either. They just completely parked.
Yeah.
And just open fired.
Put it in neutral. And
Put bullets in all three of those guys. Just ruin their whole weekend.
Now, this is a scene I never knew I needed. But after that...
So before I saw this movie, I always said, why has this never happened in a movie before?
Yeah.
I knew I needed this one.
So it seems like everyone's dead. Ben Affleck is definitely dead. And two of the Tremors, the dude from Walking Tall and Max, they start fighting.
From Homeland.
They start fighting.
Real quick, because Max is pissing into the car.
Something with like a chicken wing or something, right?
I thought he was pissing in the car, is what I thought.
Oh, yeah, he was pissing in the car.
So Chris Pine pulls out like a
he's
lollipop.
even-
He pulls out a chicken wing bone out of his mouth like it's a lollipop, and then
Yep.
just tosses it.
And
Max
Chris-
is pissing inside the driver's window,
Yeah.
and that does not make the walking tall guy happy.
So then they start fighting because, it's just like part of their nature. They don't really like to talk things out. They'll just start fighting.
And just real quick, so the walking tall guy is a foot
At
taller
least, yeah.
and 100 pounds heavier than
Yeah.
Max. So like it's wild.
Yeah. And Chris Pine finishes his chicken wing once when he gets out the car after killing them, walks over to Ben Affleck as the other Tremors are fighting, and it's like this like holy moment. They're like, the way they shoot this and do everything is great. Now I don't know exactly. I can't remember exactly what he says, but he walks over to Ben Affleck, bends down, puts his finger on Ben Affleck's mouth, and like really gets face to face with Ben Affleck's dead body, and starts creating like a conversation between what it's like a way for him, for his conscience to like.
So you have to explain what he's doing before
Okay,
before you say why you think he does it. You have to explain what happens.
He puts his finger on Ben Affleck's mouth, starts talking to Ben Affleck, and having like voicing Ben Affleck, moving his mouth, talking back to him. Talking about how he's sorry and that it's okay that you killed him, that he killed you, and no, he doesn't mind. He understands he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's like Chris Pine is trying to like.
So the best part is he goes, as Ben Affleck, he's like, it's beautiful up here in heaven. And Chris Pine's like getting emotional. He's like, oh, is it? He goes, sure is. I'll see you up here someday. He goes, you really think so?
Yeah.
And then he opens Ben Affleck's eyes and goes, I know so, and then makes him do a smile.
Oh, my
moves
God.
his face. It's the most absurd scene ever.
And I just never knew how much I needed it in my life until then. And I'm just thinking like, man, can you imagine Ben Affleck and Chris Pine just practicing lines for this?
Guys, and this is, so like we're a half hour into the movie.
Literally a half an hour
our
into
recording
the movie.
here, I think, has been way longer than this actual movie has been. That's how fucking bananas this movie is.
Yeah, we're a little over.
yeah. Ben Affleck is dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
We're a third of the way through the movie, maybe less than that.
Yeah.
And he's gone. He signed off on this movie. He's like, I'm going to die early. I'm going to have a weird scene with Jason Bateman. And then Chris Pine is going to move the mouth on my dead body to make it look like I'm talking.
And that's exactly what I thought. I thought that they probably had like Ben Affleck they probably had like a completely different storyline for his character and everything. And Ben Affleck's like, listen, my shooting schedule is just getting, I can't do it. So they're like, all right, let's rewrite. Are
you serious right now?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think so. I think that was the plan from the fucking get-go.
Yeah?
It's great.
No, I love
I
the
just
plan.
think it's crazy that they got Ben Affleck to do it.
Yeah, which is, he fits the role.
Yeah. There's no way he was like, nah, I need you to cut my... He wouldn't have taken the movie if he couldn't do it.
That'd be great, though, if they were like, all right, we'll just have them pull up out of nowhere and just fucking kill him.
So we're back at the hotel lobby.
All the
And
prostitutes are being taken out.
The sex workers, Braden, they're being removed from the premises.
Sorry.
And Alicia Keys and her friend are checking in.
Mm-hmm.
And Alicia Keys' friend, it's an old white woman who's running the front desk. And Alicia Keys' friend is like, man, you let shit like that up in here? And she's like, oh, it's like, man, woman to woman, we need to rise up. We need to get together. There's strength. There's unity.
We
got
like
the
a
pussy
revolution.
power.
Yeah.
We got to start a revolution, my girl. Like, really getting her. Alicia Keys is like, you got to calm down. She's like, no, she's blind to all this shit. I'm opening her eyes right now. Like, just screaming, like, to the lady in front of the lady.
And then, like, has her, like, get in really close.
Yeah, she's like, come here. Come here close. We got to rise up.
Yeah.
But it's, so in this scene, you can tell Alicia Keys' friend, she's a lesbian. I believe we find that out earlier. But she's a lesbian, and like you can tell she's into Alicia Keys. She's like, let's just get one bed in the room. Like, us to Alicia Keys like, no, we're not together, ma'am. Stuff like that. And you can tell like this girl's like, come on, babe. Like, she's kind of fucking with her. Like, something I might do to Braden if Braden and I were staying in a hotel. I'd be like, oh, just one bed. Come on. But you could tell with her, like, she has feelings for Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys is like, I'm not interested in that. And that scene's over, I think.
Yeah. And then we end up with the dude who bites fingers off.
No.
Or
that's not who we are. We're with Suit.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, we're with Lazo Suit. He's in a back office, and you just see dead bodies.
Yep.
You see bullet holes and shit, and you hear this recording that says, "My name is Vitoli. How can I be of assistance?" And he's like smoking cigarettes hard, and
drinking, spraying
he's like
chemicals.
spraying chemicals and not like he's trying to get his voice to sound like that.
Really
It
raspy and,
Sounds like
like-
it's just hurting him. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't sound like Vitoli. He just sounds bad. He's like, my name is Vitoli. How can I be of assistance? It's bad. And then Hugo starts banging on the door. He's like, Vitoli, come on, Vitoli. Open up. I got to get in there. Come on. We need you up on the penthouse. Just being loud and knocking on it. And Lazo Suit realizes, oh, that's fucking, this is better. And he opens the door.
Well,
and
even before he opens the door, I actually like that they did this too. He just had Hugo keep speaking so he can try to learn like little things
Voice.
about
Yeah.
Hugo, like whether it was his voice or like the pauses in between, like all the little mannerisms for the way that he talks. And then he just opened the door and fucking capped him. But
Yeah.
this is another good part too. He shot him in the same part where you saw the first dead body. He always shoots him in the heart because he's going to do like a molding of the face. So that's like why he like always shoots.
can't mold a face that's full of bullet holes.
Yeah, exactly.
People will be like, you didn't have bullet holes.
But you can't just like shoot him anywhere in the body either. You got to shoot him like in the heart if you want just like a one shot kind of like death. You know, it just shows that he is like that. You know, it's a well thought out dude, and he's not just like careless with anything. Like he's very precise with everything he does, and they basically set him up, showing like how he does stuff, and then he brings Hugo inside and starts showing how he makes the molding of the faces, and that's kind of like the end of the scene. And then we end up back at the penthouse, and we are watching Jeremy Piven. He's talking to his lawyer, I believe.
Yeah. He's on
Yeah,
the phone with his lawyer, and he just keeps saying, he's like, I'm not giving up my boys. He's like, I'm not going to give up my boys.
Oh, yeah, and his lawyer's like...
And he's like, you got to. He's like, there's no way. His lawyer's at the FBI office.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's no deal if you don't give up the boys. And then he's like, all right, you know what? Give up Hugo. I hate to do it, but he needs that sort of regiment in his lifestyle. He needs the schedule. He needs all of that. They can have Hugo. And his lawyer's like, that's not going to work, buddy. He's like, you got to give up everyone. If you don't give up everyone, there is no deal. There is no immunity for you. There's no witness protection. It's like, that's the only deal. And he's sitting there. So it's a longer scene. He's kind of being sad and doing card tricks and not really like, he's like, fuck. He's really conflicted. He does a few card tricks, and then whatever the result of his last one, he picks the phone up and goes, all right, give him everybody. And as he's saying this, you look and you see Common is like at the door, and he hears him doing it. So now he's like, all right, Buddy's giving everybody up. Common knows that Buddy's giving him up.
Yeah, and he's like, man, I just love the way that they shoot all these scenes because you get to see, Jeremy Piven do some outstanding acting.
Yeah,
man.
so like I'm saying this all quick because there's not a lot of dialogue and nothing really happens.
But he's soaking this shit up.
He does this so well. Like, you believe this was a very tough decision for him to do. He really didn't want to do it, but he's like, fuck, I gotta
just really
protect
wonder
myself.
what they do for the makeup artist, because his eyes are like puffy.
And they're different colors, and it's
His
fucking
nose is all red. Like it's very well done, and it looks very believable. And he literally looks like just the way he looks sells it so much more. I feel like too.
real quick. He's doing coke the whole movie.
Yeah, no, yeah,
He's
100%.
busting up lines the whole time,
Yeah.
like, and that's why like he looks like someone who hasn't slept and has been doing coke for days.
Then after this scene, we cut to the dude who bites off his fingers.
No,
What?
we cut to Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta in a car.
Yep. That's
and
a quick
they,
scene.
They get a car, and it's like, all right, we got to go to the hotel. And
Yeah.
Reynolds goes, Israel. He's giving everyone up. He goes, fucking everybody up.
Yeah.
So they're getting in the car, and they're heading to the hotel. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
let's go get Israel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now
And
we're in
then-
the security office.
Yeah. Now we're at the security office, and the dude who bites his fingers off is talking to like basically the main dude,
Head of
main-
security.
Yeah, head of security, and head of security is just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? He's just super busy. He's doing like a lot of different stuff.
He keeps I don't know what the deal is in this movie. Whenever people are talking on walkie-talkies, the other people are fucking morons.
Yeah.
Because he's telling them, table 12, hey, go keep an eye on this lady with blue hair at table 12. She's been killing us all day. It's a casino hotel. I don't know if we said that earlier.
Yeah.
That's what table 12. It's a blackjack table.
Yeah.
And you just keep hearing, like, you saying table 14, sir? He's like, table 12. Lady with blue hair. Looking at her. She's been killing us all day. Like, I'm not seeing blue hair at table 16, sir. He's like, it's table 12, guys. Table 12. I'm looking at her right now. It's a fucking lady with blue hair.
Yeah.
She's been killing us all day. I'm like, oh, copy that. We got blue hair, table 12.
Yeah, so I wanted to have a different word than just busy because he's obviously, like, frustrated, too, and stuff. But, yeah, we just kind of jump into the scene, like, middle of conversation. And we didn't see them first meet or anything, so I guess he didn't show his badge. But the guy is informed that he is a FBI agent.
And he keeps asking about the penthouse.
Yeah, he keeps asking about the penthouse, security cameras, footage, how many security guards there are by the penthouse, asking a bunch of questions. And then it got to lead on to that point because the dude was so busy and frustrated. But after, like, a little bit of the conversation, he kind of got a little suspicious and asked for ID just to make sure, and right as he did that, basically, Buddy, who bites his fingers off, killed him. So, but not just any type of kill.
So real quick, when he stabs him,
so he stabs him. But he's got like this fucking.
He stabs him as he's answering the phone.
Yeah,
it's like the thing up his sleeve. Yeah, and the phone call was basically like, hey, that's like, be careful. There's no FBI agents here yet. The FBI is on their way. So, like, we don't know who the fucking dude is. Like, hey, keep an eye out
and
for that.
And that happened just as he basically got stabbed. And the way he has this metal beam that's, like, shoved up his, like his suit.
It's up his sleeve.
Yeah, it's up his sleeve. And he can, like, control it to, like, I don't know, jab out, stab.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, it's a way they kind of, like, show, like, who he is, too, throughout the film, kind of.
It's like Terminator 2.
Yeah, go on, David.
The guy with the fucking hand. It's the main. You've seen Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Yeah, it's the fucking the police officer in that. It's similar to that, where it's just like, oh, all of a sudden that's a knife and he's stabbing this person.
Yeah,
where like we didn't see it before, but there it is.
Pretty cool stuff. And then this guy has just such a sad death. I'm just like, God, sympathizing with him so hard.
So the fingertip guy, he stabs him and then, like, kind of holds him there and puts his forehead on his forehead. He's like, yeah. And the guy's like, is that blood?
All these deaths are so personal.
The guy's like, is that blood? He's like, yeah, it's blood. He's like, you're going to die. He's like, I want you to look into my eyes.
No, he says, I want you to close your eyes.
I want you to close your eyes, because I don't want to be the last thing you see.
Yeah, because God might not let you in.
But how does he say that? He says, because heaven might not look too favorably on you. But how does he say it?
In Spanish?
In Spanish, yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking English this whole time. He's like, I don't want to be the last thing you see. Porque es, and then whatever. Whatever that is in Spanish.
Yeah, heaven may hold it against you.
Heaven may hold it against you.
Yeah.
But it's so, like, he's just so, like...
He's caressing his face.
Okay, buddy, yeah. Like, he's rubbing the back of his head. He's like, you gotta let go now, bud. And he's like, okay. All right. I'm gonna let go. You're right. Like, it's such a weird scene.
And then Splash, what's his name?
The guy who was in Ben Affleck's crew who was against doing it from the get-go. His name isn't important. Yeah. He's just going to be the guy. Quit looking it up.
Martin Henderson.
I said his name isn't important. Brayden said yeah and then kept looking it up.
Martin Henderson. He splashes out of the water.
He's just the guy in Ben Affleck's crew who didn't want to do it from the get-go.
Yeah.
All right?
That guy.
That guy. He splashes out of the water, so, like, he made it. He's fine.
He's
not fine. He's fucked up.
So you see 3 of his fingers are blown off his hand. You don't even know what else could be wrong with him. But somehow he survives being, like, out in the ocean that's freezing cold. Like, he's, like, a little far off, too. Yeah. It wasn't like he just, like...
So it's not an ocean. It's, I think it's Lake Tahoe they say they're on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, but it looks cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's fucking shivering. And then it cuts back to the FBI agents. No. It does.
They get a call about bodies being found in the lake.
Yeah. Oh, he's right off the rocks. I'm tripping. Never mind.
Bodies being found in the lake. I don't know why. God, I wish I knew what the importance was. That, like, why Ben Affleck, why that death. These 2 FBI agents were like, oh, well, we got to go see it.
Maybe because it was so close to the hotel.
Yeah, maybe.
Or they maybe somehow knew that they were connected to this, so they needed to go figure out or like stop by there because I guess maybe it was on the way or something. But you think it would still get to the hotel first, you know?
I would be like, all right, well,
let me send my other agent or something.
I would be like, murder doesn't sound like a thing that the FBI needs. Is it a serial killer?
Yeah.
Is this like? I think we'll let the local police handle this one, boys.
Yeah.
Let's go get this informant that we need to get.
Yeah,
That's how that should have been handled.
I'm just assuming maybe because it's on the way and they think it might be coincidental towards like a part of it. I don't know.
But these hunches, you don't stop what you're doing based on a hunch.
Yeah.
So next thing, I think it's Alicia Keys and her friends.
Yep.
They're talking. It's not on the phone. They have like a.
They're in the hotel across from the main hotel.
From each other, they're across. So.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys is in the main hotel. Her friend is across the street in a hotel with a sniper rifle.
Fucking 50 cal, by the way.
50 cal. It comes into play later. It's fucking bananas.
Yeah, it's one of the fucking biggest sniper rifles you could ever shoot.
But they're talking. Like Alicia Keys has like an earpiece thing, and they're talking. And her friend keeps like looking at Alicia, like zooming in on her tits and stuff. And she's like,
because Alicia's
she's so hot. Alicia Keys is a beautiful woman. Oh, she is so attractive. And like her friend knows it. She keeps looking at her, and she's like, "Man, you still with that M-word you was with before?" And she's like, "Nah, I don't." She's like, "Man, fuck him. At least we got each other, right?" Like, it's kind of like Alicia Keys isn't gay. She's not interested in her friend, but
she knows that like
her friend is so into her.
Yeah.
Her friend's also like, she's talking sexy to Alicia Keys and she's talking crazy shit. She's like, "Man, I don't care if there's any feds there. I'll smoke their asses too if they get in our way." Like, just banana stuff. She's like, "I'm gonna kill everybody."
Yeah. And you think that there would be like, which they don't talk about at all. You think they would have like some other plan. They don't talk about like what they're gonna do if they, you know, how they're gonna meet up afterwards or anything like that. You know, like if she does get Israel, they kind of didn't really talk about that. I'm like, dude, if you're shooting a 50 cal from the other, this is what I was thinking immediately. It wasn't even like I needed anything else. I was thinking immediately, if you're shooting a 50 cal from no matter where, people are going to be on you in a second.
That's the thing. Like, there's no way she would get out of that alive.
No way.
It's Alicia Keys getting out of there and keeping $900,000.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't talk about or make it seem like they have a plan or something.
There might not have been, but also like, how long is there's like 18 hitmen? Are they all going to be like, "Here's our exit strategy," and we got to sit through that and be like, "All right, I got it."
Exactly.
Got to have an exit strategy.
This movie moves fast.
Let's just see who does it.
Yep. So
that happens. Then the big thing. So Alicia Keys is putting a wig on. She's getting dressed. She's looking like a sex worker.
Yep.
That's how she's gonna get up to Buddy Israel. She's like, "I'll be."
And they see 4 other girls at the bottom that are about to go in.
Do you know what her friend says?
Prostitutes, right?
No.
I thought
she says the hoe train has arrived.
Yeah.
That's your cue, baby.
Yep. And then we go to.
There's someone on the phone with Lazo.
Yeah.
With Lazo's suit.
Who's now Hugo.
He's dressed as Hugo.
He has his exact face. He's molded his face, has his clothes. So now Laszlo is Hugo.
And he's on the phone with someone down in like the bottom office, and the guy just says, "Hey, people are starting to show up. You need to get to Israel first." And then he walks away as Hugo.
And the movie constantly cuts from all these different people, and what they're starting to do now is like start this hype up of cutting between all these people that are about to collide.
The cuts get quicker and quicker. And
exactly. It's suspenseful. And it's showing you how all these people are about to collide in this hotel. So you're getting like quick cuts.
Real quick. Next is the guy crawling through the woods. The guy who was in the lake. You see him crawling through the woods. So you're like, he's going somewhere. He's not going to be there when the FBI gets to where the bodies are.
Yeah. And so you got like all these people moving throughout the hotel. And then we cut to, So Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta are at the crime scene now by the water. It's like moving really quick between all these different scenes of everyone being set up in different places of the hotel. And then we are at the FBI agency where the main FBI, what's his name?
It's Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia.
He gets like a file of documents. Someone comes and hands him. It's old as fuck.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What is this?" Like, "Sorry, sir, it's old. I was told to hand deliver it to you." And he starts flipping through it.
And he's the first to find out.
So he says, "Who else has seen this?" He said, "Just the director."
Yep.
He wanted me to hand deliver it to you.
Yeah.
And he's reading through it, and you could see it. It's showing Heller, who's the agent from like the 50s. It's showing Sparaza. And then it keeps showing the scene where Heller gets shot.
Yep.
We don't. The guy just says, "Should I bring in agents Messner and whatever," which is Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta, and he says no.
Yeah.
So whatever. So we don't know exactly what Andy Garcia knows.
But we know that he knows.
We know that he knows this and that he's not letting Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta know it yet.
So now Hugo just makes it to back up. Well, Laszlo, who is now Hugo, makes it back up to the penthouse, and he's acting just like Hugo, which is great. But he walks up to the 7 security guards, and they have like security
metal detector.
metal detector for the gun, and Hugo lifts up his shirt, shows the gun, and all the security guards are like, "Dude, you're good, man."
No, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Go.
They're like patting him on the back and shit.
Like,
and
Hugo,
yeah, Hugo.
Fist bumping it, like, "My man."
He gets in there.
Cena Monroe.
He's fucking smirking, and then we cut to another great fucking shot of Jeremy Piven with impeccable makeup. I mean, his eyes are fucking just like swollen as shit. He's got cocaine up one nostril. The other nostril is fucking inflamed. He's sweating.
He looks fucking rough.
Yeah, he looks rough to say the least. And it shows Hugo walking in, and he's talking to Beanie. And
He's not talking to Beanie.
Yeah, he's not talking.
He didn't say a fucking
my
word.
bad. Beanie's talking to him. Hugo's not saying fucking anything. Acting kind of weird. Puts his hand on the wall and like.
But real quick, so Beanie's cleaning all the shit.
Yeah, Beanie's
he's cleaning up. He's like, "Where's Vitoli?" He's like, "Get your ass in." Oh, he says, "Where's Vitoli?" And suit as Hugo just shrugs.
Yeah,
he's
just
like, "I don't know." He's
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck you mean you don't know? You went to get him."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, get down here and help me clean. I'm not cleaning all this shit." And he's like, "Also, like, you can't believe you came all over the guy's jacket. Like, I'm not touching that jacket." He's like, "By the way, what do you fucking these girls without a condom? Like, what's wrong with you?" Like, it's crazy.
As he's saying this, Hugo is like not even fucking listening to him, and he's putting his hand on this wall that has like this weird kind of mirror to it, and he's like touching it, and he can kind of like sense that Israel is right on the other side with the same kind of mirror. So they kind of transition that, which is pretty cool because they're like the same weird mirror. And then, yeah, so we're looking at Israel, and he's looking at himself in the mirror, and he's kind of like losing his fucking shit. He's just like looking at himself.
He keeps covering one eye and then covering the other eye and then covering both eyes and looking at himself. He's fucking losing it.
And then all of a sudden, Common is right in the background, and the reason why Common comes in is because from earlier he overheard Israel basically selling everyone out, and now he's starting to talk to him, and he starts bringing up loyalty.
He says, "I got the kind of loyalty that's to the grave. Like, other than a dog, you don't get no loyalty that's any better than this." He says it cooler than this. I'll never do Common justice. Common, yeah. I know you're out there listening, man. Sorry, I can't be more like you. But Common, he's just like, so like, because he asked how to go, like, you talk to the lawyer, and he answers, and Common's kind of like, you know, maybe you hear me saying some shit like this, you should understand that it's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for you to just be honest.
And I thought Israel was trying to kind of like talk him, or, you know, talk him out of it and like almost deceive him. But really, he was like telling him why he did it.
So in the beginning, he tried to.
No,
He's
yeah,
like, yeah,
but,
no, we're
but
good, man. Everything's we're all going to get out of here.
thing.
And then he realizes, like, all right, Common knows I'm fucking lying.
But
so
even after that line, I felt like he was trying to, and then it was like just him describing why he did it, and was like.
So this is, I believe this is later.
No, yeah.
That he, okay.
It's still the same scene, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it is a little bit later.
So next we're in the lobby. Ray Liotta. Oh, so Ryan Reynolds and Ray Liotta, where the dead bodies were, Found out there was a car parked somewhere else, and Ray Liotta's like, well, dude, I'm not chasing this shit around everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to the hotel.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, great. You go to the hotel. I'll follow up on that car.
Like a smart FBI agent.
Yeah, we'll circle back. So Ray Liotta's at the front desk, and he's talking to the Drake and Josh kid. And the kid's still he's nervous every time someone talks to him.
This is a crazy first day for him.
And he's like, I need to get up to the penthouse. He's like, only security can take you up there. He's like, oh, there's one of our guys there, and points to its fingertip guy walking by. And Ray Liotta like jogs over.
But the fingertip guy is wearing
wearing
main
security
security. Yep.
Yeah.
So the dude at the front desk from Drake and Josh.
Yeah, he saw the security outfit. He's like, oh, there's our security guard.
Yeah.
There now. And Ray Liotta runs over.
Just runs over. But right when they enter the elevator, the Drake and Josh front desk employee kind of noted. Well, he does notice that the guy that's in the main security shirt is the dude who was the FBI agent that originally came. So you kind of see on his face that he thinks it's weird that the FBI agent proclaimed man is wearing the main security shirt.
Yeah, he's confused by that, but the door closes. Ray Liotta and Pasquale, they're in the elevator. Cut to, you see Alicia Keys.
Yep.
She's waiting for an elevator, and the door opens, and it's the Tremor brothers, and they're definitely shirtless. They might be naked. They're like eating cheese. They're like puffy Cheetos.
Yeah.
It's fuck. These guys are bizarre. It's great whenever they're on. They're all shirtless in the elevator together. And when the door opens, the Max from Homeland sees Alicia Keys, and he immediately just starts jacking off.
Yeah.
Like he just starts jacking off, and she looks at them and goes, "I'm going down." And Chris Pine goes, "Yeah, I bet you are." And then she calls them, like, as the door's closed, and she says, like, white trash bitches or something, and then
flicks him off.
But she does it so cool. She goes, kisses her middle finger.
And then the dude from Walking Tall was jiggling his nuts at her or whatever. You don't see his nuts, but he's just kind of like doing it.
Yeah, or was he jacking off?
He was kind of just like playing with himself, but yeah, basically.
Yeah, but what do you?
Playing with yourself.
He wasn't like jerky.
He wasn't full stroke, but yeah, he was fondling himself for sure. Yeah, he was definitely fondling himself.
So, and then she's like talking to her friend still over there and over across the street. She's talking like, "What just happened?" She's like, "Oh, these guys jacking off and stuff in the elevator is crazy." Cut to, are we at the house now?
So now...
Oh, are we at the house? Please tell me we're at the house.
Martin Henderson?
Yeah.
Yeah, gets to the house and then...
We're at the house and he, like, rings the doorbell at the house. He's rough. He's got bullets in him. His fingers are missing. He's cold. And he rings the doorbell and this kid, quit looking up. Who cares what this fucking little kid actor's name is?
No, because they say it...
Get off. I don't care. It's this little kid... wearing like a ninja Japanese headband. There's rap music playing real loud. And he goes, "What's up, bitch?" He's like, oh shit. Like, he's like, "Bitch, I'm about to ball this motherfucker." Like, just looking at like, speak, bitch. Say something. And he just passes out on the ground in front of this kid. And I think we circle back to that family.
Yeah, we circle back to that in a little bit.
So we're back at the lake, and Ryan Reynolds they identified who Ben Affleck and his buddy are. So he kind of realized, like, okay, these guys were killed because they were bail bondsmen, and the uniforms. Oh, they found the receipt for the uniforms.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, oh, the uniforms are missing. And they're like, well, fuck. So someone killed them to get the security uniforms. And then he makes a phone call and he's like, "Hey, this is a much bigger operation. I need to talk to Deputy Chief because people are here. They're killing people, are dying. Shit's about to blow up. We need to do this. Get me locked." And then someone says, "Hey, we found Ben Affleck's phone." Or not his phone. We found Ben Affleck's car.
Yeah.
It's at a parking structure near the hotel. Then they go to that. When they get to the parking structure, you can see the Swede. He's like walking into a nearby building.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds comes by, like screeches by in his car, slams on the brakes, turns it off, gets out. There's caution tape, and he just walks out. He just rips the caution tape. No attempt to like go under it, over it,
Yeah.
nothing. He just rips it apart. And I would be, if I was the local police officer who did that, and then Ryan Reynolds showed up and ripped it, I'd be like, hey, asshole. The fuck? How hard would it have been to fucking just crouch down and get through? You could have done that so easily.
Yeah.
But so they're doing that. He's going to see the car, and Ray Liotta's at the hotel.
Well, and then we cut to...
I was trying to think of where Ray Liotta was.
Okay.
We cut to Buddy's room,
Yeah.
and it's Hugo and Beanie's just like, why you being so weird, man? You're nutting all over the place.
So, like, no time has really passed between last time we talked about them and now. It's kind of like just cutting right back.
Time has stayed still in that hotel room, it feels like. And Beanie's just kind of like, the fuck you doing, man? Like, you need to get over here.
But he's not looking
up.
at him. He's kind of just like cleaning
This guy's
up.
back to him and he's sweeping.
Yeah.
He's like, man, 'cause I ain't no maid. Get your ass over here and do it. And then Lazo suit just shoots Beanie in the back. And Beanie, like, slowly turns around.
And then there's like this pause.
He goes, oh, no, the fuck you didn't.
He goes,
and
hell no, dog.
And then he shoots him like 5 times in the chest.
Yeah.
Beanie's gone.
Yeah,
Beanie's gone.
Now Hugo's a boss who's really Laszlo. And, Laszlo's got this this fucking pistol that has a suppressor on it that sent Beanie packing. I mean, he kind of flew back after the shots.
Yeah, he gets him. Now we're Buddy and Common are talking. And he's like, dude, everything you see is an illusion because it's what I want you to see. And he's doing card tricks and showing him shit. It's fucking wild the way he's talking to Common, just like...
Well, I thought he was saying that, too, to try and say, when you saw me telling them that I'm going to give up everyone, I was just saying that. Like, that's what I was thinking.
That's the impression you get, and then he just throws that idea out the window.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, Common, you're disposable.
Yeah.
It's like, I
And I'm
love
like,
you,
oh,
but
shit.
you're disposable. And Common is like, man, like... You think you're just going to sell me to the FBI and I'm going to take that shit lying down? He's like, you're going to wish. He's like, you're going to wish that, what's Sparaza? It's like, you're going to wish Sparaza would have got a hold of you once I'm done with you. And then he throws a card. I don't know what the deal with his cards are. His cards are bananas. Because he throws a card, hits Common in the eye.
Cuts him.
And,
they show.
So that's the whole thing. They show his eye is gushing blood, then it's a little cut, then it's gushing blood again.
Yeah, that was kind of like
that
was the one back.
For all the good stuff that this makeup department did.
They
fucked up Common's eye.
Yeah. Well, another part too is they showed in the very beginning that Israel can throw cards to fucking pierce shit. So he's like a amazing card thrower to word. Because he showed in the beginning, he threw a card and it fucking pierced the couch and it just sat there.
Well, that's when all the sex workers are there. He's kind of just walking through and flinging them, and they're sticking into shit.
Yeah.
So he flings it. He hits Common in the eye. Common can't see. Israel dives in the bathtub behind the wall, and Common's just opening fire all over the place. Doesn't hit him. Security comes running in.
Yeah, but they cut really quick to the Andy Garcia going through the files as he's being like driven to the hotel, I guess with like a bunch of other FBI agents.
He's going through the Heller and Sparaza files?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it cuts back to Ray Liotta with Pasquale in the hotel elevator, and Ray Liotta is starting to realize that, you know, they're kind of like talking.
So Ray Liotta realizes because he looks at his hands.
Yeah, and notices his fingers
are all chewed up.
Yeah. And he starts asking him a couple more questions, and each question basically signifies that this dude's, you know, who Ray Liotta is, you know, finding out who he is.
Oh, I don't think so. I think Pasquale handles this like a fucking champ.
No, yeah, I mean...
He's like, why don't you have maintenance soon? He's like, an entire shutdown of our hotel or of our elevator operating system, sir. That needs to come from my men. He's just
well,
he is Johnny on the spot with every fucking... Until the fingertips, I was like, you know what? Ray Liotta's not going to figure out who this guy is until he saw the fingertips and was like, what's this all about?
Well, the way they were kind of shooting it with like him not turning around talking to him, I felt like made it more suspicious. Because he was like talking through his reflection from the door. It was kind of weird. So I felt like that. Well, and the way they were just shooting it, it just made it seem like he like Ray Liotta was super suspicious, which, he had every right for.
And then so Ray Liotta says his name. He's like, so how long have you worked here? Pasquale. And then Ray Liotta reaches for his gun, and before he can shoot it, Pasquale stabs him in his clenched fist, like through his hand, which would fucking, like through the knuckles.
Jesus.
Like that would suck.
Yeah.
And he starts shooting him. Pasquale pulls out a little gun. They start shooting. They're just shooting each other. Lights go off, like the elevator shuts down from all the gunshot, and it's pitch black in there, and then you could just see gun flashes. They probably shoot each other like 10 times each.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop. Pop, 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 pop.
And then I would say from here, the movie fucking starts to really
This is
pick
where
up.
business starts picking up.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys hears the gunshots. I think... Oh, so she hears the gunshots. There's gunshots.
Well, then they shut down the elevators.
Shut down the elevators because... Is Ryan Reynolds at the casino yet at this point? Did he make the
I
call? No, because he shows up. He's like, let's get the fucking elevators online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I gotta go places.
Yeah.
So they just shut down the elevators.
Yeah, I don't think they said who or what or why. They must have just...
There was gunshots.
Yeah,
It's probably
so they-
hotel protocol.
For sure, yeah.
Shut down elevators. So they shut down the elevators, and the Tremor brothers are prepared.
Dude, these guys are apparently smart as shit.
Lights a flare and lights a cigarette using the flare. So they have light in there, and then they hook up cables and a generator to whatever. So like they pull off this, they open this trapdoor. It's shit I would never think to do, and they just do it, and the elevator starts back up again. So they got the generator running, the elevator starting. They're going up. We're back to the house, and the grandma of the little kid is helping the dude
Martin Henderson.
He's the guy from Ben Affleck's crew who didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
that guy helping him in the bathtub, and the grandma goes, "Oh, Wilson," or whatever the kid's name is. Why don't you go on, get him some towels? The kid's eating an ice cream sandwich, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, grandma, yeah, no, I'm gonna do that." The kid has glasses as well, and he has like a Band-Aid over one of his eyes under the glasses. And the grandma's like laughing. She's like, "I'll get it, don't worry." And then the kid walks into the bathroom and goes, "I feel like you're eyeballing me, dog." And I feel like if you want to throw down, we'll just throw down right here and now. Like, and he throws his ice cream sandwich like into the tub.
The dude is like,
he's just sitting there. He's like, "What the fuck's like? Come on, I'm about to die."
Yeah, he's like,
I got
in
this
shock.
kid.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, "Man, like, you think you can hang with this?" And he keeps like almost hitting him, like doing karate moves.
throwing fists in his face.
As he's doing it,
This is really weird.
the kid's junk is near the guy's face, just full erection.
Yeah, he's popping a boner.
The kid is rock hard.
And then
And he looks over and sees the kid. He's on Ritalin, which
just
I guess
Ritalin
anyone
just causes fucking random boners.
Everyone with ADD or ADHD puts on ninja stuff and does ninja moves towards people who are hurt in a bathtub and get raging boners. Braden, everyone knows this. If you have ADD or ADHD, that's how you act.
Fuck, I do have ADHD. You're right.
Dude, you did that like 5 times as a kid. Daryl kept bringing hurt people to the house and putting them in the tub. And you're like, "I feel like you're eyeballing me."
Yeah. Man, my dad's got some cool stories. So
he's doing that.
Which I think we forgot to add. When she's putting him in the tub, she says, "Oh, I'm putting you like in my tub. I just had a bath." And like an hour ago, and then he gets into the bathtub and looks, and there's a dildo right by his face, and she grabs that. She's like, "Oh, don't worry about that." So I mean he obviously stumbled upon the worst house in the random woods.
Well, no. So the grandma's a registered nurse.
Oh yeah,
That's it. You could do far worse. She's gonna help him out.
yeah.
And the grandma goes in and takes the kid out of the house. And then we cut to a news report about Ben Affleck and his buddy being dead, and we know who it is.
Who's
and
surprised?
Jason Bateman is watching. Jason Bateman is in bed. He is wearing a bra and panties. And so Jason Bateman's appearance made me immediately think of a story I saw in the news last week. Which, Brayden, does the name Mark Redwine mean anything to you?
No.
No? All right. So Mark Redwine was found guilty of second-degree murder because apparently he beat his son to death. He beat his 13-year-old son, Dylan Redwine, to death in a fit of rage after Dylan found photos of his dad wearing a red bra and eating feces out of a diaper.
Holy shit.
So, like, you take those pictures, your son finds them, you beat him to death, sure. How do you then let that be the story? You were like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. My son found pictures of me wearing a bra and eating shit out of a diaper. I gotta murder him. How do you then let it become knowledge? Like if that's me, no one finds out why.
Yeah.
Nobody finds out that those pictures exist. I murdered someone over it.
That happened to be your son.
I'm not then like letting it be like, well, he found those pictures of me where I was eating shit out of a diaper wearing a red bra, so I had to kill him. Like, well, now we all know. Like, what were you afraid of? Were you afraid of people finding out? Well, now everyone knows. Now the 5-6 Kings are talking about it on their podcast, Mark. Get your shit together. If you're going to kill your son over some fucking risque photos he finds of you, don't let people find out those photos exist, Mark. Just fucking kill him and let that be the end of it. Also, don't let people find the body. Come on, Mark. What are you doing?
And if you're Jason Bateman, congrats, because you brought that memory into David's mind.
Well, so I think it was just a perfect storm of us doing this movie this week, that story being in the news. Like, I think this was all just... It was a perfect storm. There's no better way to say it.
Yeah.
It was perfect. But yeah, so Bateman's wearing that. It also shows Speranza's guy. He sees that... He sees that the people are dead, too, and he knew about the bail bondsman. He was hoping that the bail bondsman would get him. Because that would have been a bigger cut for him. He's like, we're paying the bail bondsman $100,000. I'll get $900 in that scenario. Back to Israel's apartment. So Common's opening fire. I think we jumped the gun. I think Israel hadn't thrown...
They were just talking a little bit more.
They were still talking. So he throws the card, hits him in the eye. Eyes gushing blood, scratched, gushing blood.
Yeah.
And security comes in. Common's unloading. So Hugo was about to go in.
Yeah.
Or not Hugo. Suit.
Well,
Laszlo Suit. And do some Laszlo Suit shit.
Yeah.
But then all that happened. He's like, oh, fuck. Took a step back. Security goes in. Common is sitting there with the gun. He can't really see. And security...
He was shooting, but then he was trying to reload at this point. So they caught him trying to reload. So then Common was kind of fucked at that point.
And there's like 7 security guards.
They put him in Well, they're not even handcuffs. They're like
zip-tied
handcuffs. And...
just zip ties.
Yeah, but they're like... Yeah, they're zip ties.
Just say zip ties.
Yeah. And then Hugo is, chilling in the corner now? And then Israel comes out, and he's like... He says something to Hugo. He's like...
So... Common is telling Hugo, he's like, hey, he's selling us to the feds, Hugo.
Yeah,
fuck out of here, he's selling us to the feds.
Out, yeah.
Also, they see Beanie's dead. And Buddy Israel just goes, Common killed Beanie. Or whatever Common's real name is. Like, I can't believe he fucking killed Beanie. No part of him thinks that
that could have been Hugo.
That Hugo could have done it. It's immediately like, I can't believe you killed Beanie. And Common doesn't deny it, which is weird.
That was kind of weird.
He just tells Laszlo, he's like, he's selling us to the feds, Hugo. You got to get out of here. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And Israel's like,
which is just weird too. That Common, I understand. Like,
Common should have been like, how the fuck did Beanie die?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I didn't kill him.
That's what I'm saying. That he thinks that what's more important is telling Hugo that he's going to get sold to the feds rather than being like, Hugo fucking killed Beanie. Who else?
Yeah, be like, I did not kill Beanie.
Yeah, like who else fucking would have been able to kill Beanie? It's just Hugo. So I'm surprised Common didn't connect those dots, or at least had like the writer write it out like that.
So now Buddy's like, Hugo, don't listen to him, baby. We're good. We're strong. It's you and me. We got this.
You and me, Hugo.
And he's like doing like a finger, like, come here, come to daddy. Come on, baby. We're a team, baby. I can't believe Beanie's dead, but we're a team. And now they're taking Common out.
And they're going to the elevator.
And they can't get into the elevator. Elevators are down.
And now this is where shit really starts to fucking pick up.
Oh, fuck. Why? The elevator's down, and then I think... So we see the Tremor Brothers. We see that one of the elevators is going up, and it's the one the Tremor Brothers are in, and we see them in the elevator. And then I think it cuts to Alicia Keys. It would have been so much fucking easier if they just stuck with one goddamn storyline and then shift to the other. Because I think it cuts to Alicia Keys now.
They're doing the same thing. They're cutting from all the different scenes, and
I know what they're doing.
What they're
doing.
They're building up the
saying it
suspense.
sucks.
They're building up the hype.
I think it sucks because we're doing a podcast about it, and we're turning hour and 40-minute movie. This is gonna be like a 2.5 hour podcast. Like, nothing awesome has really happened yet. It's all coming. So
Alicia Keys opens up the elevator because it's not working, and she finds Ray Liotta and the other dude, Pasquale. They're both like passed out on the ground, full of bullet shots, and she's talking to her right hand girl, the other girl, and she's like, "Man, these two crackers killed themselves," or something like that.
She's like, "Man, they're all shot up in here." And
Yeah.
she says, "What are they doing?" She just says, "Dying."
Yeah.
And then she gets in there. And she's like, "Oh man, these guys are feds. Both of them are feds." And her friend's like, "No, one of them's bullshit. It's like one of them's not a real fed. They keep saying it on the thing. I hear it all over." Because I guess their earpieces are getting intertwined with other people's earpieces.
Yeah.
So she's
a lot
"No,
of
it's
interruptions and connections.
one
and
of them's
stuff.
not. One of them's not a fed. One
So
of
they're
them's
getting
thing.
different feeds and stuff like that. Yeah.
So now we're back at the house, right?
Yeah, with
back
Martin.
at the house.
He's taking pills.
The guy in Ben Affleck's crew who didn't want to be involved he's like taking painkillers, going through a box, and the kid's like, "Oh, my fingers I lost my fingers. Oh no, oh poor me." And then he has nunchucks. He's like getting in his face, like, "Oh, and he goes, anytime, fag." Like the kid is just fucking with him the whole time. And then the lady starts explaining. She's like, "Oh, his mama left him, and his daddy's up in prison. He did. Oh my god." She's like, he did like names, like says crazy shit that he did, like murder and sodomy, and he wrote some bad checks. Like she kind of throws bad checks in there too, but it was all like he was sodomizing people and killing them. So he's up in the state prison. My husband hanged himself about 9 months back, or died by hanging about 9 months back. And so he's going through her dead husband's box. Dead husband has a gun.
And he got like some new clothes he's putting on.
He's wearing like goofy old man clothes, like part of the ensemble. He didn't take it, which I wish he would. He's wearing like a sweater and sweatpants, but part of the ensemble was a visor, which I really wish he would have just put on, like wore the visor. He didn't. But then he's going through the box, and dead husband has a gun. So he loads the gun and says, "I think I'm going to borrow this." And then unfortunately, we never see Grandma or that kid again.
Yeah, what happens to that
I
kid?
assume he murders them in that house.
Yeah?
No, probably not. That'd be great. Now we're at the casino.
Yeah,
Ryan
Reynolds finally pulls up.
They're talking to the kid from Drake and Josh, and Ryan Reynolds goes up, and he's like, "Where's my partner?" He's like, "Oh, he's with the other agent." He's like, "What other agent?" He's like, "Is there another agent here?" He asks. There's a bunch of FBI guys there now. He's like, "No, there's no other agent." He's like, "Yeah, there's no other agent." He's like, "Oh, it's this guy. He introduced himself as an agent. He said his name was Diaz or something." And then he's like, "All right, let's run both those names through the database." And they go to leave. He's like, "But he's wearing
security.
He's wearing a security outfit." And Ryan Reynolds goes, "What?" He goes, "The agent. Last time I saw him, he was wearing one of our security outfits." He goes, "This man identified himself to you as a federal agent, and then when you saw him later, he was wearing one of your hotel security uniforms? That didn't strike you as odd?" And he's like, "Well, no, I thought they would have given it to him."
Yeah, like leans in really close, and that didn't seem odd to you? Like, just like, the dude is...
Reynolds is really like, this poor kid.
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't fucking know. You want me to question him?"
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Hey, take that uniform off." Like, I assume there's a reason.
Yeah, so now Ryan is talking to some of the other agents as to like what to do. I guess like set up at different parts of the hotel or something. Then we cut to like the prostitutes still fighting.
So it might be different ones. They might not be able to get up.
Yeah.
They're not letting they're telling them they got to leave. There's gunshots in the hotel room.
Yeah, and then we cut back to Israel's penthouse with Israel and Hugo. which is Laszlo, is acting real calm and collective. He's like basically setting up what he's about to do to Israel, while Israel is just like talking nonsense. He's like, what, about to kill himself?
He's like, we're gonna be good, baby. We're strong. We're good. It's you and me.
And
It's
then
you and me till the end, Hugo. And then we cut back. Alicia Keys in the hotel room. She's going through, and she's like, oh, man, both these guys are feds. They're dying in here. At one point, she moves Pascal's hand, and it looks like just the way, like, she's sticking her neck out, it looks like he's going to do the thing where he shoots the blade up his sleeve and just go through her neck, which would have sucked because Alicia Keys is just beautiful, and I love her in this movie.
Yeah,
but,
same.
But, like, that'd have been badass. I'd be like, oh, shit. It's crazy. Doesn't happen. So they're talking about feds dying in there, and Ryan Reynolds intercepts it on his earpiece. And he's like, oh, shit, stop it. We gotta...
So, so what's also happening, which I think we forgot to mention, is Ryan set up the elevators to start working. Like he
got the elevators back up and running.
Yeah, so now all the worlds are about to collide.
So he's taking his elevator up. He hears that, and he's like, oh, we got to stop at floor whatever floor this elevator's on.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're at the penthouse, and we see smoke coming out of the elevator. Coming out of the elevator, and then Hugo's back in the room. It's a fucking nightmare at this point, guys. Jeremy Piven's being crazy. Hugo's like putting on gloves and getting all these surgical tools out and ready. And then like he picks up a phone and just says 3 minutes, and then hangs up the phone.
Oh, right when that happens.
Jeremy Piven is crying, doing card tricks, and his fucking lawyer calls him. His lawyer calls him, and he's sobbing. And this was based on, he's like, the deal's done. He's like, that Andy Garcia, that prick, whatever Andy Garcia's real character's name is, like, that prick, he just said no more deal. So whatever Andy Garcia had in those files,
whatever he found out,
we still don't know. Whatever it was, it made it so he didn't need to do this deal anymore. The lawyer's crying. Jeremy Piven's crying. He's doing card tricks. He's like reaching up towards the light, and then he sticks a gun in his mouth. It's about to blow his head off, and then he passes out. Oh, really quick, because he looks up to the light. When Israel is one of the,
when he is first introduced into the movie, he looks up at God, and looks up at the light that's cast right over him, and he says something to God. He makes some remark like, why me, or something like that. And now he looks up at God again. Or he says, fuck you, I think he actually says, fuck you to God. Yeah, and it's the beginning. It's like it wakes up with all the respectable women naked, and the light is shining on him, and he says, like, fuck you, basically, to God. Now he's looking back at God again, right as he figures out this news, and he, like, laughs at him, basically, like, all right, you got me. So that was kind of, like, the little significance of that. But he then, like, stumbles to go get Beanie's gun. So Beanie's still dead, just lying on the floor.
Yeah. And so hold on. So Braden is before what I said already. Just so people, like, he didn't pass out and then do this.
Yeah.
This is before. I jumped the gun a little bit. Braden is...
Just put in more details. Yeah. So then he goes to Beanie, grabs his gun. He's crying, and he goes to put the gun in his mouth. He's about to kill himself. And, like, man, I love this because they build up so much suspense with this whole thing. And then you see Hugo, he gets on the phone, and he has this needle in his hand. And you see, what is it, the Swede. The Swede. He gets a phone call. And then it's cutting really quick.
He says 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So we do, like, this is insane. We don't need to be perfectly in order.
No, yeah, you're right.
Jeremy Piven, he's going to blow his head off, and then he passes out.
And right as he passes out, yeah.
Then it cuts to Ryan Reynolds and his team. They're on the floor where Alicia Keys is with Ray Liotta and Pascal. They're both dying in the elevator. Ryan Reynolds and his team, like, they create a perimeter. Alicia Keys is like, I'm cornered here. I need help. On my signal, you go, and she uses a laser pointer and gets it across the street.
So
it goes through the peephole, gets her girl in the eye. Does a cool, like, shows it hits her in the eye, and then she goes, like, to where the trigger finger is and all that stuff. And it's like her brain sending a signal to her finger inside the gun, and then she just starts. This fucking sniper she has is
badass.
Bananas. She just starts mowing people down. And the best part is she's
Well, and
she's mowing people down, and they're shooting back as if their fucking handguns are like they can't see exactly where she's coming from. They know it's across the street.
I had a couple problems with
and
this.
And they're just shooting back with handguns as if there's a chance they're going to fucking hit the sniper across the street. Like, just fucking...
Well, and so a couple things. One, like, I've legitimately seen 50 cals and other snipers, like, what they actually do. They shoot, like, 8-inch bullets. Like, if you get hit with a 50 cal or any fucking... Most snipers, you're literally going to explode. Like
that's what's happening. It's fucking taking the bodies and
they're
flying across the room when they get hit with
it's pretty cool.
They don't downplay how strong this gun is if that's what you're getting at.
No,
here.
A little bit though. Because
fuck out of my face.
If they were to do it today, the bodies would explode.
Brandon, this podcast is too long for you to complain about that. The bodies, are getting taken and thrown across the room.
There was two other things I was complaining about. Well, the main one was what you were talking about too. If they're shooting across with, they don't know where this sniper is. You're not just shooting at
wasted bullets.
Well, no, you're shooting at other innocent people. That's a full other hotel full of windows. You're just shooting like all of them.
Great. Just opening fire.
One dude had a shotgun. What do you think that shotgun's gonna fucking go precisely a mile into another hotel where the sniper's shooting you from?
Yeah. So she's mowing people down. You know, I'm tired of jumping around this much. We're just doing this fucking scene here.
Okay.
She's mowing people down. Pasquale then shoots Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Which, why her? Why her? That's
I started thinking that too, and I was thinking, well, maybe because he's so beat up, but actually, right before he shot her, he
brings the thing in.
He got shot again, though.
Did he?
Yeah, because he got shot by Ray. So he was about to shoot her in the face.
No. So he shot her like twice, like once in the leg, once in like the stomach or something.
First.
And then he's about to shoot her in the head, and Ray Liotta.
Yeah, you're right.
Ray Liotta fucking caps him. Ryan Reynolds then goes in. He's like trying to get Ray Liotta. He pulls him out of the elevator. They pull Pasquale out of the elevator. He's trying to do.
So then we'll say there's a pot. We'll jump now to the next thing.
Trying to do. No, we're gonna leave this. She's trying to do CPR on Ray Liotta. Alicia Keys hits a button, so the door closed, and Ryan Reynolds like, no, don't let that fucking close. Don't let that close. So once this all was going on, some sex workers came out of an elevator on that same floor, just other side of the room. One of them shot and killed. I think the other ones got out of there. But
then when right before she ended up leaving, her Alicia Keys' friend thought that she was dead and just started going off again before I think Alicia Keys
got out of there for that. Yeah. She
got out before that, right?
Yeah, because the friend sees the prostitute
dead
on the floor,
like her.
Yeah,
same hair,
a brunette African American girl, and she thinks Alicia Keys is dead. Alicia Keys isn't responding on the thing, and she just starts fucking unloading on that room like it's nonsense, and then like running to different floors in the hotel she's in, and like running past maids holding her 50 cal sniper, and she goes, "Move!" Gets over there and just starts fucking boom, 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 just unloading. Ryan Reynolds is screaming. He's just his gun's out of bullets, shooting across there, and then he just throws it. There's a window just busted open with bullets.
Like, if you're not going to need that pistol.
So did he make it through the window? Is it just on the ground outside that hotel? And someone's like, "Oh, fucking FBI gun.
Nice.
Let me grab this." So that's done. We're done on that floor. We're now up in the penthouse where the Tremor brothers are coming out of the elevator while security's waiting there with Common.
And one thing really quick that they do cut to as all that was happening was Andy Garcia.
I was going to say, what's he up to?
The whole FBI. He has like a big FBI crew, which they don't really show too much, but it ends up being like a huge FBI SWAT unit thing coming with him. He gets off like some type of helicopter or something like that, as if he's like almost at the hotel. So we see that. Like, he's about to be at the hotel, basically, is kind of what they cut to really quick. And now we're at...
the Tremor brothers.
The Tremor brothers.
Or the Breen brothers.
Well, we're at the top.
If the rest of the family's on board, this is the Breen brothers.
We're at the penthouse level, and Common see, there's this smoke coming out of the elevator before the doors even open. And all the security guards come up with their guns, pointing at one elevator. And this is a problem I actually had with this.
Yeah.
Common ends up seeing this, and he's like, all right, let me get the fuck out of,
Common is unarmed, and his hands are in zip ties.
Common has common sense.
I see what you did. You guys see what he did? Gets Common and common sense.
So then, somehow, I try to rationalize it, but the Tremor brothers come out one elevator door where 10 pistols are pointing at. It's like the easiest way to die. But, for the sake of movies, they make it out because there's smoke and they're wearing body armor. So let's say they all just got shot in the body armor and it didn't phase the Tremors because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So they come out.
You know what? It wouldn't phase Chris Pine. Damn sure wouldn't phase the guy from Walking Tall. And damn sure isn't phasing Max. Are you kidding me? He's dealt with
Max from what?
Max from Homeland. He's dealt with terrorists and shit.
Yeah.
And Carrie Matheson. He's fucking fine. So they come through and guys, the Tremors are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane. He comes out, I think he throws like little axes. Like,
no, he throws flashbangs.
He throws flashbangs.
It's flashbangs. And
they have flamethrowers. They have fucking chainsaws. Chris Pine has
Shotguns.
2 machetes that he's fucking people up with. They have machine guns, and everything's on fire. It's a bloodbath. They're just mowing down the security guards. Common's like, I gotta get a gun. He's like, these guys aren't just gonna be cool with me being here. I gotta get a gun. He shoots and kills Max, like immediately, like shoots him in the head.
Shoots him a bunch of times, though.
Shoots him a bunch of times, and the guy from Walking Tall notices that and is like, oh, shit, all right, I'm gonna fuck you up.
He just got done chainsawing someone.
Yeah, so he picks up the chainsaw, he goes to get Common, but hits the chandelier, which, hate it when that happens.
Yeah, just like...
Hits the chandelier,
awareness.
and then goes again. Common shoots him a couple times in the leg, he falls down, he's leaning, he's got one good leg, one shot up leg, he's leaning over the chainsaw.
With one arm.
Yeah, Common then shoots out his arm, and he falls back on the chainsaw. Chainsaw kills him. Great way to go.
So he is being chainsawed from his literal ass hole. Like
it's ass like from the ass out.
Fucking gooch, balls, dick, ass, everything's just being fucking obliterated by this chainsaw. And he's like moving with it. He's like shaking.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
it looks
graphic.
like someone's getting chainsawed from the ass. It is bananas.
He probably has one of the worst ways to die on film ever.
But now, so all the security guards are dead. 2 of the Tremor brothers are dead. It's Chris Pine. It's Common. Common's gun doesn't have any bullets. Chris Pine's standing over him, and
with like machete.
He has like 2 machetes. He's about to fuck him up. Elevator opens.
And who?
Alicia Keys.
Alicia
comes
Keys.
out, puts a gun to Chris Pine's head, and Chris Pine like drops his shit. And the elevator's about to close. Chris Pine
does some
hits the gun arm, slides into
Wonder
the elevator,
Woman,
hits
Wonder
it
Woman
down.
3 moves.
He gets out of there. There's security outfit in there, or no, he has the fake FBI badge. So he just takes off all the crazy shit he's wearing and puts on. There's some normal clothes in the elevator. It's got to be. He pieced together shit from what he was wearing, whatever Ray Liotta had, whatever that guy had. He just pieced something together.
Yeah, the Tremors are smarter than they
he's
look.
He's a smart man.
Yeah.
He gets out of the elevator and he's just crying. He's holding his badge. He's like, "Oh my god, you gotta get in there! It's fucking crazy! Oh my god!" And then once he's past everyone, he just stops fake crying and walks away.
So and then Common is carrying Alicia Keys, and then like the water's going off. It's like a beautiful little moment. It's like a beautiful little scene. It's like they're connecting. You know, the 2 cool people have now come full circle, just being cool and in love. And it's like, oh man,
Braden almost gave this away real early in the movie. I was like giving him the kill motion. I was like, "The fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Stop it! This is the best part."
Yeah, this is awesome. This is like what's great is like you want they succeed. It's like some of the only people that succeed.
They're the 2 coolest people in the movie, and they're together right now. But so they're walking down the stairs.
Oh, but even before the stairs though. They show Andy Garcia and the FBI SWAT get to the top of the suite right as they leave, get on the elevator. So like they go down,
so they go down the stairs and Andy Garcia gets there.
Yeah, and they come up. And what I immediately thought when I saw that was, how in the fuck did Andy Garcia and the rest of the FBI? I mean, maybe like the SWAT team, but for Andy Garcia to end up at the fucking top of the penthouse after this, literally all this shit happened at the exact same time. Dude, there's someone shooting 50 cal with 50 rounds shooting from a hotel across. You think that the main FBI person is going to be walking up the stairs in that hotel, and everyone's getting the fuck out, dude.
Dude, you know how I'm going to respond to this.
You think it's nonsense that I think that?
Andy Garcia doesn't abide by the laws of nature, all right?
You're right.
He's making it up that elevator. For sure.
He's in a suit. He's
Braden,
like
Braden,
looking all
10
spiffy.
10 times out of 10, Andy Garcia gets to the top of that hotel.
You think?
No doubt about it. 10 times out of 10. Dude, he's Terry Benedict.
Maybe I'm just being
Dude,
silly.
he was Terry Benedict. Fucking George Clooney. They stole money from him, Braden.
Yeah.
George Clooney and Brad Pitt and Matt Damon and that whole fucking motley crew of thieves, they stole money from him. Terry Benedict's getting to the top of that hotel, Braden. So Alicia Keys and Common are walking down Alicia Keys and Common are walking down the steps. And they're just talking sexy to each other. He's like, I was going to kill Israel. He's like, oh, girl, you already got my heart. Like, just, they're in love immediately. They're two badass, good-looking, cool people. And then Ryan Reynolds, like, comes across him on the steps, and he points the gun at them. He's like, put her down. Both of you guys drop your weapons. You're going to fucking prison with me. And he puts Alicia Keys down, and then she points her gun at Ryan Reynolds, and she's like, look.
She says some cool shit?
Oh, she's so cool. She's like, look, I didn't kill your boy in there. He's like, we got nothing to do with what you want to get to up there. We're on our way out. Now, we can keep doing this thing, or we can go our separate ways. If you want to go our separate ways, why don't we put our guns down, and you and I will never see each other again, all right? I ain't got no problem with no feds, and I didn't kill your boy. And then Ryan Reynolds slowly puts his gun down, and they walk past each other, and he starts running up the stairs. He's trying to get to the penthouse, and then Common picks Alicia Keys back up, and they just keep walking.
And that was pretty cool. Now imagine Alicia Keys saying it.
Oh, it's cool as it gets.
Yeah.
So then this,
We're
I
back
want to just wrap up Alicia Keys, Common, all of that, because it happens. Like, I'm tired of bouncing back and forth.
The movie does that a lot, folks.
So this is later in the movie. We're doing it now, though. Common and Alicia Keys are out in front of the hotel, and they're walking,
Saying
and
some cool shit.
So we can't hear what they're saying. It's far away. We see it from the vantage of Alicia Keys' friend. She's looking at her sniper, and she sees them. She's like, huh? And she doesn't seem happy that her friend's alive. She seems disappointed that she's with some cool, good-looking dude like Common, and she seems happy with him. And then you hear, like, there's police behind her, and just immediately shoot her.
Yeah.
Like, in the back, from behind, like, no, hey, let's bring her in for questioning. Let's see, where'd she get this 50 cal sniper? Like, how was she so equipped? She knows somebody that's going to be a big deal. No,
let's just kill her.
Shoot her from behind. Done. We're done with Common, Alicia Keys, that girl. They're all done. This movie's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
Next week we're doing like we're doing a movie. We're gonna do like Waiting, that just stays in one room the whole movie. They never leave. We're not doing Waiting, for those of you guys listening.
So very easy to break down.
So
we're back at the penthouse.
Hugo's about to go shoot Israel up with the syringe.
Yeah.
And then the feds come in. They're like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah. And they arrest him. They put him on the ground. And then they kind of stand him back up or whatever. But this is God, I have such a problem with
this part's ridiculous.
This part is so ridiculous. It's just, at this point, they were probably in production. They're like, dude,
we just got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So he's like trying to get out of the zip ties. Ryan Reynolds shows up in the thing. He's like, my partner's dead. He's like, you can tell me what the fuck's going on. He's like, not here. You go back to D.C. Andy Garcia is he. Ryan Reynolds is talking to Andy Garcia. He's like, you gotta tell me what the fuck's going on. He said, go back to D.C. and you'll be debriefed tomorrow. And then Laszlo's trying to get the things out. Laszlo breaks free, grabs a gun, shoots one of the federal officers, and then dips around the corner into a different room.
I think he cut him.
Does he cut him?
I think, yeah. He cut him.
He kills a federal officer somehow. The federal officer's dead, and he's running. And then there's a room off to the side.
Ryan Reynolds is with them now.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is there. He's talking to Andy Garcia. Mm-hmm. And so Ryan Reynolds included, they all chase who they think is Hugo. And in just the next room, there's a man wearing a wife beater. So Hugo's wearing like a tracksuit. There's a man wearing just a wife beater, and he's bald. And he's going, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. And Ryan Reynolds, he's like, in there, don't shoot. Ryan Reynolds goes, that's the butler, keep going. And then you look under the bed, and it's the Hugo mask and Hugo tracksuit. No goddamn way he could have gotten all of that off that quickly.
For one. And then two, you would still be
They
suspicious.
don't question him at all.
They don't question him at all.
The butler, move it on. Then he just walks out.
We've been in there. That's the room, and they ran into the bathroom. I'm like positive that's the case. That was the bed because they're right next to the bed.
Yeah.
So they go into a bathroom with like 5 dudes to where Hugo now, Laszlo, and it's plain that it's it's like it looks like it is Laszlo. He gets up and he like fucking smirks and like walks off. Like, dude, you wouldn't. The people would walk. They would go into the bathroom and they would just turn around and say, "Well, that's the dude right there."
Yeah, they would go up and be like, "This is dead end. This is dead end. Who was that guy in that room?"
Yeah.
They'd be like, "No way."
Yeah, especially Ryan Reynolds, who's super passionate and hot. That is
Ryan Reynolds has been on the ball
Yeah.
all movie. He's been catching shit and doing it. So then we see Laszlo. He's just walking through the casino wearing a security shirt, which is different than all the other security shirts, but he's wearing it, and he just kind of smirks and he's walking out. So he made it out. And then you see Ryan Reynolds walking with
his partners.
it's Ray Liotta's dead body, but it's on
Covered.
a gurney, covered. He's walking with whatever it's called. He's walking out of there.
And then they leave the hotel, and then now it's
Is this where Ryan Reynolds is just kind of wandering through the street and shoving
Which is
the
so weird.
fuck out of people?
Which is
it's like he's like bumping into people, but like he gets angry, and there's no dialogue. There's like somber music playing. No. So this happens in a second. Chris Pine, he's back. He's at the parking garage, and he's walking towards where his car is parked. And the dude from Ben Affleck's crew who didn't want to be involved in any of this.
Yeah.
He goes, "That your car?" And then Chris Pine sees him and goes, "Nah, FBI, I'm commandeering this vehicle." He goes, "Nah, you hear about those guys down at the lake?" He's like, 2 of them got killed, and one of them has severe hypothermia and is missing some fingers and will probably be a multiple amputee by week's end. And Chris Pine goes, "All right, shit, you got me." You know, it's it happens, and he's like, they're talking about it. He says something about we're going to get Buddy Israel, and then Chris Pine's like, "Is that who you were getting? Israel? Shit, looks like we both got beaten out. Crazy motherfuckers up there." Like he's just joking around with him,
trying to create like common ground.
Yeah, and so the guy from Ben Affleck's crew just goes, "Why don't you just give me the keys to your car and get the fuck out of here?" He goes, "All right," and then like he walks over and hangs the key on one of the fingers that still exists, like hangs it on it. Kind of, it's funny. And he goes, "Man, I sure am sorry, but it's the way shit goes in this world. Everyone's always gonna get fucked.
It's the way the world works.
It's the way it's always gonna be.
Yeah.
like way it's always gonna be."
And like try to be really friendly and smiley about it. It's like hilarious.
Pats him on the back and starts walking away, and he walks. He's like 20 feet away, and then the guy from Ben Affleck's crew didn't want to be involved in any of this. She goes, "Fuck it," and then just doesn't look. But he's an ex-cop. At first, I was like, no way he could have done it. I was like, he's an ex-cop. He's got gun training. Whatever. I'm not diving into that shit. And shoots like 6 bullets and just
not even looking,
and just and Chris Pine's back just gets him. Chris Pine's dead.
But yeah, so we're at fucking Ryan Reynolds.
So now Ryan Reynolds, he looks so rough. He's covered in blood. His shirt's all ripped up. His scratches all over his face, and he's just walking through a crowd of people, and like he's bumping into people, but he's like shoving people hard as fuck
like,
in the back, and just like walking like just pushing his body into it and you're seeing
showing like flashbacks of like all the crazy
of Ray
shit
Liotta dying and all that shit.
Yeah. So it's like hilarious that he's just like throwing random. Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah. So then he walks into the hospital.
Yep.
The hospital. He goes up to whatever floor Andy Garcia's on, and he goes, "Andy Garcia, you gotta tell me what's going on." And he said, "I told you your debriefing's gonna be tomorrow." He said, "I've had a hell of a day, man. You need to tell me this right now." And Andy Garcia like kind of puts his arm on him. He's like, "You'll be debriefed tomorrow," and starts to lead him towards the elevator. And Ryan Reynolds pulls out a gun and just kind of like subtly, no one else noticing what's going on, but it's like down in his hip, and he's putting it against Andy Garcia, and he's like, "You're gonna take me right now." And they start walking, and he's like, "Your career is over after this, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, look at me." He's like, "Yeah, it is." So they're walking. Andy Garcia leads him to the room where in one bed it's Primo Speranza, In another bed, it is
Israel.
Buddy Aces Israel. And then you can see the guy who's been the Swede the whole time. Turns out the guy's a heart surgeon. Buddy Aces Israel is Primo Speraza's biological son, and his heart, his blood type, his tissue, all of that is a match. They want to give Primo Speraza Buddy Israel's heart. And he's like, why the fuck would you do this? Because it turns out
Whoa.
Primo Speraza didn't kill Heller. The FBI tried to kill Heller. And so Heller, that was Primo Speraza was his like undercover name. That's who he was. That's how he was infiltrating the mob. When the FBI tried to kill him, he's like, you know what?
Fuck it.
Fuck it. I'm going to keep doing these plastic. And that's why, like, you see they both have plastic surgeries. You see all of that. Like, oh, like obviously, like, finding out, you're like, oh, shit, obviously it's...
Yeah.
Heller was just... he turned himself into Speraza.
Yeah.
And he's the head mob boss, but originally he was an FBI agent. And Andy Garcia's like, I want to keep him alive because I just found this out and think of how much knowledge
That he has from like
he'll
the 50s.
he'll have from the last 60 years that he's been involved in organized crime. Like, think of how valuable that'll be. And Ryan Reynolds is like, what if it's fucking nothing? What if he has nothing for us? And Andy Garcia is just like, well, that's the risk we're willing to take.
Yeah.
And,
Well, my thought, too, is like, okay, let's say everything goes according to plan. The heart surgery goes perfectly. How long is just going to, like, regain perfect consciousness and have, like, be able to be healthy for a shit long time? Like, I don't.
So the FBI doesn't care about that. They just need to find out what he knows. Like, they don't need him to live for years.
Yeah.
They need him to live for, a few weeks.
Yeah.
Map out everything that you learned over the time, all of that shit. Like, give us any information, any contacts, all of that stuff, and then you're of no use to us anymore. You're an old man. Just die.
Yeah. I'm just surprised, though, because he just looks like, they show Speraza in such bad condition, like, the entire time. I'm just, like, wondering,
He's got a bad heart.
No, yeah, but would a bad heart really change that all around when he's, like, 95 or something?
Like I said, they want him to live long enough to
Just
where
to have
he
the-
can
yeah.
tell them what he knows.
Yeah.
They don't need Speraza to have a long life.
Yeah, and then, but what I'm saying, too, adds to, like, Ryan Reynolds' perspective, he just thinks it's fucking
Ryan Reynolds
ridiculous.
hates all of this.
Yeah.
He hates all of this, and Andy Garcia is basically telling me, he's like, and look, so, like, it was a rough day, and I can sympathize with you. He's like, if you want this to be, because Ryan Reynolds is arguing with him about what's going on. He's like, if you want this to be your verbal resignation, I'll accept it right now. Otherwise, you can get on a flight, go back to D.C., and we'll meet tomorrow. Is that clear, Agent Messner? And then there's a pause, and then Andy Garcia says, are we clear, Agent Messner? And Ryan Reynolds goes, yeah, we're clear. We're clear. And then Andy Garcia walks away.
Which, this is so silly. Like, if you have someone who's, like, emotionally distraught and you're, especially when it's revolving all around something he just learned about of these people that are in this disclosed place where he shouldn't be, you're going to walk away from him when he literally is having, like, a mental breakdown?
Yeah, no, it's fucking crazy. He walks away. Ryan Reynolds obviously walks into the room where the two hospital beds are, where Speraza and Buddy Israel are.
Where no one's in there.
No one locks the door behind him, goes, sits down, unplugs Israel, unplugs Speraza, and then pulls the magazine out of his gun, puts it down on the ground, puts the clip on the ground, puts his badge on the ground, and then just sits there. People are trying to break the windows to get in.
Yeah,
they're smashing like a big X-ray light thing up against the window. Looks expensive. They're just
Well, it just looks like it's counterproductive. You're going to start a fire or something, or like,
yeah, smashing against.
Well,
But
and it's just like, what about the Swedish hitman? Apparently, he's not that good at his job.
he's not a hitman.
I thought he was. I thought
He's a doctor.
No, but he's also a hitman. Is the thing?
No,
he was like the best cardiologist plus being a hitman. I thought
He's
it was.
not a hitman at all. Laszlo Suit worked for the hitman. He was like, that was the idea that Laszlo was going to go in there, kill him, and get the heart for the Swede doctor.
Oh, I thought
Swede's
he
not
was...
a hitman at all.
Okay.
So he's just smashing that, and the movie ends with Ryan Reynolds like kind of like sad, smiling, and then it goes to black. But one thing I thought about the ending here, in Independence Day, they don't have bulletproof windows for the room that they do surgery on aliens.
That are like 12 feet tall.
But in Smokin Aces, it is impossible to break the windows on just a people hospital. That's what blew my mind.
Yeah.
But guys, this nonstop action, adventure, it's all over the fucking place. It's exhausting.
Well, and one more thing. You would think, like, what happened to Israel to where he had to be on life support? Like, was that serious? I thought he just did some cocaine.
I mean, he overdosed on cocaine, and they were like, hey, let's not bring him all the way back yet. Let's get him to the hospital. I mean, at what point in the movie did you think, oh, that's a healthy-looking guy?
I didn't think he overdosed. I thought he,
At what point in the movie did you look at him and think, that's a healthy-looking guy?
Never. I just never thought he was at the point where he had to be on life support.
I mean, you're not a doctor. The Swede is. And
You're
the
right.
Swede has him on life support.
You're right.
And that's Smokin Aces, guys. Non-stop, adrenaline rush, action-packed, bloodbath. Highly recommend. Like, fuck the critics, fuck Rotten Tomatoes, fuck Metacritic. Google's close. 81's around what I would say.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Honestly,
highly suggest you watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Braden, you wanna tell people what we're doing next week?
We're gonna be watching The Village, directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
A lot of twists.
Yeah. Oh man, I love this movie. It was made in 2004. It has a fucking stacked cast. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it, and we will be breaking it down next week.
I've never seen this movie either. This and Independence Day. We're going into uncharted waters again.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Diving deep.
Shyamalan with all the twists. He did The Fifth Sense, The Smell of Crime Stinks,
He
The
also
Smell
did-
of Crime. Don't cut me off.
Oh, sorry.
Crime Stinks, The Smell of Penetration. He knows the truth. It's a great movie. I highly suggest everyone. It's Dolph Lundgren. He can smell crime, and his head's just one big nose, and he runs around like a dog, and they show full penetration the whole movie.
Yeah,
Braden's scrolling through his thing as though he's going to see this on M. Night Shyamalan's thing. It's not a real movie, I'm telling you. It's an Always Sunny episode.
No, yeah.
Everything I'm saying. Yeah, you didn't fucking know shit.
No. I'm just trying to see.
I'm just not listening. Like, we're doing a podcast, but I'm, like, over here on my computer and not, like, listening to what we're doing.
Motherfucker. But yeah, so he's also done Signs, which we're gonna do too.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan, The Sixth Sense. And
Yeah.
yeah,
bunch of great
M. Night
movies.
Shyamalan's a genius. He's
Yeah.
very good. A lot of twists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Signs.
No, but he's really good at fucking.
Guys, that's the 5-6 Kings. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe all of our shit. Follow us on Instagram, 5-6 Kings. If you could download episodes when you listen to them, that's a big help. Buzzsprout doesn't tell us about just listens. They only tell us downloads. So if you can download every episode, like it, leave us a review. That helps out a lot. Go to your local Subway. Tell them, hey, what are you doing employing Steph Curry and the pink-haired soccer girl and all these people? You need to fire everyone but Tony Hawk and hire the 5-6 Kings full-time. What are you doing? The smokehouse bacon is Applewood smoked bacon is amazing. Turkey and ham is sliced so thin. Braden, you see how thin that turkey and ham was?
Dude, I love thin.
It was the thinnest turkey I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. But guys, go to your local Subway. Tell them the 5-6 King sent you. Oh, also, sorry, I'm all over the place. I was about to finish. You thought it was over. It's not over. Movie ideas. Guys, like, I got a list of fucking movies I want to do. Braden's got a list. We want to hear from you guys, too, though.
Yeah.
Email us. DM us. Comment on Instagram posts. Let us know what movies you want to hear us do. The ones that we, like, if you give us shitty ideas, we're obviously not going to do it, all right? We're not going to pander to the audience. Be like, oh, do Finding Nemo, and then Monsters, Inc. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Nope.
We're not.
Tell him, David.
But if you're like, hey, do Unhinged with Russell Crowe, I'm like, Braden, you know what we're doing next week. But guys, thank you for listening. I love you all very much.
Yeah.
561.
Thanks, guys, for checking us out. And
561 strong. And we hope you come back next week.
yeah,
Thank you,
see
guys.
you guys. Peace out.
Bitch, I'm from Palm Beach County, that's where I'm from.